Hello, everyone. Looks good to me. Oh, uh-oh. There you are.
Hold on a second. Wait, are we live?
Yes, we're live right now.
Oh, really?
Yes, we are. That's it says Roofie talk, so that's what we're gonna talk about.
There
So,
we
welcome
go.
everyone. I haven't streamed in a while. I am Wild Dean, or I'm Dean, or Dr. Dean, or as Bella Runner calls me, Kuya Dean, and all that
Yep.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he's my mod,
Mm-hmm.
and yep, he'll be doing double duty. He'll be modding, but more importantly, we will discuss an important topic, and it's
Mm-hmm.
roofieing.
Okay. Allow me to introduce myself.
Go
As a
ahead,
guest.
yes. Hmm.
My name is Nikki or Nico. My user handle right now is Dula Runner. It used to be DJ Nikizum. But now it's Dula Runner. So you can follow me on all my socials: Instagram, TikTok, X, which was formerly known as Twitter, as well as Twitch as well. So feel free to follow me and also stay for the vibes.
See the that thing over there on the top? Right over
Mhm.
here. It's still Twitter. I'm not changing it to X. All right.
Yeah.
That's.
hmm
I'm still keeping that.
I mean, people are still going to call it
Exactly.
Twitter regardless.
Exactly.
Because like I feel like it doesn't make sense to like rename it as X because there's already other websites that have X on it, and we're not going to go
Correct.
deeper into that.
Mm-hmm. So before we go with my seminar, we're
Mhm.
gonna do a video.
Okay.
So this is from the BBC. This is a case. This
hmm
is one person who's getting roofied. Before we talk about it, I think we
hmm
have to give a real life scenario. Let's watch.
One of those nights where the whole world comes crashing down.
You're able to hear it?
Ambulance service, is the patient breathing?
I think she's been
Um,
spiked because
I
she's
think I
heavily
do.
sedated.
It was my birthday weekend,
I'm
you
just like
know,
watching
so
from my
we were all
stream.
like really excited. I had all these pictures in my mind how I wanted it to go, and then looking back on it now, it's like the worst birthday of my life.
Is the breathing noisy?
Her breathing's getting a little bit hectic. Her mouth's going as well. You can hear her crying
I
there.
can, yeah.
Got to the club for around 11, you know, got greeted with champagne, sparklers, this tiny cake, thinking it's going to be a good night, a night to remember.
She can see me, her eyes are moving, but she's gone. She's completely blank canvas.
The last memory I have, we'd gone to the dance floor and we were just dancing. From then on, it's just a blur.
Okay, what did she take?
You know what? I don't know, love. I mean, it could be anything. It could be magic. It could
Gosh.
be THB. It could be right. No.
She just passed out there. What's her name? Do you know her? Abigail. Abigail.
You never think, you know, your drink's gonna get spiked. You just think, oh, it'll never happen to me. Never in a million years. I
Well, it
wouldn't
happened to
even
everybody.
wish it on my worst enemy.
Where was she found?
Right, she was outside making a phone call on her phone, right? And then her legs were going and going, and then as soon as she finished, she just hit the deck.
Speaking to my friends, they were like, Abby, it was literally like you just vanished, like off the face of the earth. No one knew where you were.
Abby, can you remember what's happened tonight? No. Has anybody hurt you, Abby?
It's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, it's dark. Unfortunately, there's people that will try and take advantage of individuals that are in a vulnerable position.
After being treated on scene,
I
Abby's
woke
taken to
up in a
hospital.
hospital bed, monitors on me. The nurse came in and explained what had actually happened, you know, saying that there was GHB in my system, and she was like, it's your typical date rape drug.
We'll talk
It
about
was
that.
probably one of the scariest moments of my life.
After further tests, Abby was given the all clear and was discharged from the hospital. Thank
Finding
goodness.
out that the bouncer outside the bar, you know, had seen what state I was in and took me in and, you know, looked after me. And if he hadn't, then God knows what had happened. It could have been a hell of a lot worse. I still have no idea who's done it. I'm still scared about it because I still don't know what happened. I think people should be more aware of what can happen, and I think people should talk about it. I always say to my friends, make sure you're looking after yourself and you're looking after your other friends. It could happen to anyone. You just need to be more careful.
Wow, what do you think? Oh, I hear the sounds again. Sorry.
Yeah, there's. Okay, now I would like to address the elephant in the room. My
Go ahead.
laptop is 3 years old. It's running on an AMD Ryzen processor, so I feel like one reason it's making that noise is because it's not Intel. But anyways, now, based on like what I saw from this video, right?
Yes.
There's a lot of things that could happen all of a sudden when it comes to stuff like this. I go to parties, and I sometimes like hit up clubs whenever I feel like it. But then when I do, there's usually going to be like one drink that I would have. But then I feel like for the most part, if ever I see some friends, of course, I'm gonna try to stay alert as much as I can, because whenever I enter clubs or whenever I enter certain parties, I always need to have intel or surroundings of like who is there, what kind of people are we going to be dealing with, and what kind of vibes are they giving, and how are these people going to react whenever they see some of my friends, and how are they going to react whenever they see me as well. Now, now I feel like for stuff like this, there's like so much that you have to take in. But when it comes to stuff like getting roofied and all, I feel like you just really need to instantly you need to like work as soon as possible. Now, this is coming from my experience, my more recent experience, and this happened last week.
Wow.
So as of now, I'm a swim instructor, but this happened to one of the parents. So I was actually teaching the child, and then his father suddenly like hit his chest on the rim of the swimming pool, and then he put his face down on the pool. Now, I reacted immediately because I don't want him to drown. Like I'm trying, as soon as his face hits the water or the swimming pool, I had to push him off, because if I don't do anything, it's going to be on me. It's going to be my fault if something happens to that person. Now, the same thing could be said with somebody getting roofied. Like, if you're not going to do anything about someone who is like in that state, then I feel like it's going to be on you. Like as soon as somebody gets into that state, you need to work immediately.
All right, take a look at the screen. Is that cool? I changed it over. You see it? We see each other, right?
Of course.
Yes. So
Well, actually, like have a TV right over there.
nice.
So my layout's a little bit different.
So there will be slides, don't worry. I will try my best to read them word for word, okay? So you've seen some of the previews of the slides. I've actually posted it on the stories. So
Of course. Yep.
here we go. Okay, look to your right. That's what we're gonna go over. All right, so we're gonna talk about roofing. I actually had a talk with a few friends at another group chat, and some of them have never heard of roofing. Oh wow, sorry. I had a technical. It just sometimes it likes to be a little it likes to play around. This is the newest version of Microsoft PowerPoint.
I feel like I just use Google Docs. But anyways,
yeah, but
when you're ready,
I'm going to be
ready.
using a lot of Windows. I already have a lot of Windows set up so I can play the videos like we just did. That was pretty successful. That I played the video. I have heard of this. I just don't know what it is. I'm gonna teach you, Josh. We're gonna teach you, Josh. Right? Yeah, let's do it. All right. So, and I haven't forgot about we have to visit. I have to fix something, but That's
All right.
for another time. Okay.
Alrighty. Let the doctor
So
cook.
yes, let's do it. Cook it, cook it. Okay.
Mhm.
So just for everyone to know, so we're gonna go over. This is pretty detailed. Look, even though the outline looks very simple, what is being roofied and what's a roofie and what's roofieing? We're gonna talk about those terms. We're gonna talk about examples and incidents. There was one example we will go a little bit detailed, but not too much. But it has happened well, the past 20, it was December 2022. So yesterday was the last day of that event where the incident happened. So we'll get to that. As a pharmacist, so this is my area because I love drugs, I love medications. I will talk about the medications used, all right, and the
Mhm.
interactions. I hear a few sounds.
It's my laptop. It's my
That's
laptop.
I've never heard of a laptop make that sound. That's
So, anyways,
so
keep going.
yeah.
Keep going.
All right, and I'm gonna show you how to avoid getting roofied, and you'll actually you'll come in and whenever
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
bring it up because you've seen this happen. That's why I chose you
Mhm.
to be my guest, and
I mean, like,
Mhm.
I only have experience. I only heard about these stories through friends or mutuals that post about their experiences getting roofied. But then, like, I myself haven't like really experienced it in real life. But
Same
then, if
here.
I did, it would be quite scary. Now,
Oh
it is
yes.
up to me whether or not I should be able to help out or not. But if there's anything that I cannot do, then of course, like I would immediately call emergency services, call 911, inform the staff attendant, the security guard, or whoever is in charge of these events where the incidents happen. Now,
Mhm.
it's not gonna happen in one of those clubs or those bars, but
Mhm.
it could pretty much like happen in those rooms. It could possibly like happen anywhere. And I feel like Holiday Matsuri, based on like what I'm seeing from the stories of my friends and mutuals, it could actually legit happen anywhere.
Oh yes.
Now, of course, we don't know the motives of what this person is trying to do, but I feel like it's just like making me really sick to the urge
Well,
because of
buckle
like
up.
what they're doing. You know.
Buckle up because I got some stuff for you, and for the
hmm
audience, of course. And
And
thank
I'm
you
also
for.
gonna throw in some questions as well because
Oh
I know for
yes,
sure that
bring it on.
whatever it is that was being talked about. Shout outs to Cosplay Black Book, by the way. I feel like
That's
I
right.
can actually like, throw in some more possible stuff that can be mixed in as well. But
So
anyways,
I
you may
yes.
proceed.
Oh yes. So thank you very much. Love it. You gave the
hmm
appetizer. I love it because
hmm
it gets people to tune in all the way to the end and get
Of
the
course.
information they need. I love it.
hmm hmm
So the best treatment is prevention, right? We're gonna talk about how to avoid getting roofied. I've never been roofied myself.
hmm
I've had friends tell me that their friends got roofied at KatsuCon. That's how I first heard of the word roofie.
hmm
It was this
Yeah.
year. I also
Yeah.
have a story about me being drunk for the first time, but it wasn't a roofie. But it
hmm
would be relatable because people could get other people drunk, and that could be done as be used as being roofied. All right.
hmm
And lastly, what if you got into that situation of being roofied? We'll tell you what to do. A lot of stuff you probably know, but it's very important to emphasize. It's one thing to
hmm
know about it, but it's another thing when you're put into that situation. So we're gonna go over that. So what is to roofie? What is roofie? So as some of you have known already, it's someone putting a drug, usually a sedative, in a drink, so that turns into a spiked drink. I've heard in some cases they'll put. Oh, there's the sound again.
Continue. Continue.
Yeah, so what happens is one what it could also be food or a meal as well. but in many cases it's a drink simply because it just dissolves in most cases. And they do this without the person's knowledge or consent. So one gets roofied or spiked when that person passes out, and the perpetrator will take advantage. So it could also cause memory loss as well. And we're going to talk about all these symptoms and all these effects. We'll also go over the common drugs used to roofie people.
Mm-hmm.
And roofie is derived from the drug name Rohypnol. Rohypnol is banned in the US, but in some countries people use that as an anti-anxiety medication, as a sedative to help people sleep. The generic name is flunitrazepam. I know, long word, flunitrazepam. And we will go over that. So, what are the reasons why people roofie? So the reasons why people roofie is that the common ones are rape, for example. So when they use
Mm-hmm.
Rohypnol or other agents, what they're gonna do it when the person is passed out unconscious, and then when the person wakes up, they're not gonna remember that they're being raped. All right. Another one is assault. Okay, including sexual assault. People will roofie in order to do that. Also theft.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've heard in Katsucon. Uh, so with theft, like they'll steal their wallet or whatnot, and then they wouldn't remember until they found out that their wallet was stolen. Another one is amusement, which is sick, very sick. All right, and then people will just post it on Instagram and on TikTok. Very sick. You're able to hear me, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay, all
I
right.
still do.
S- So I had to lower the audio a bit. So
Okay.
okay, all right. So and it's also it could get someone into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to roofie someone, you could have someone do something and they're being unconscious and then they get in trouble. I actually don't have the
Mm-hmm.
video for it, but there was, I think, maybe if we have time, but there is a video where from a Utah news station where the person was charged of a crime, but the person wasn't even aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
The person was unconscious. Was
Yeah.
unconscious. It's
And yeah,
sucks.
I'm
Go ahead.
I'm going to like chime in with the reasons why people get roofied. Like I know for sure that like with the first two, it's pretty common. But
Mm-hmm.
like for amusement, this is coming from a story that I was like looking at. Now, from what I heard is that this photographer that we used to know was already like next to somebody who is still unconscious or is in that roofied state, but then he did not do anything at all. And I feel like if I see somebody like that, I would be asking you aggressively, why the fuck are you not helping that person? Like, what's wrong with you? Can't you see she is like on the ground unconscious? We need to help her. And if you're gonna tell me no, then I feel like that really like boils my blood for the most part because
Understandably
because
so.
it let me just go say that it is common sense that if anything happens, and it may not just be with the roofies, but it could be something else.
Mm-hmm.
It is always common sense that you must immediately help that person in any way that you can. Now, again, like I said, if you cannot help that person or you did your best, then of course you can still dial 911, call the security, call the con staff, and they're going to take action as soon as possible because, again, you cannot ignore this issue at
Correct.
all. And I feel like that photographer has done something like that, and I don't know what his motives were, but it just doesn't sit well with me.
It's also a power struggle too, isn't it? It's like,
It is.
and it's gonna segue to this next slide.
Mm-hmm.
So these are two examples before we get to the main example of what motivated me to do this seminar.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that guy over there, Bill
Of
Cosby,
course, of course. Mm-hmm.
America's Dad, I guess, before Full House.
Mm-hmm.
So he drugged people for decades, and he used that to seduce women. And as I said, it's a power struggle as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now this past year, somewhere early of this year, there was a gaming event. Okay, not the
Mm-hmm.
Game Awards, that's another topic. Okay, that thing is
Mm-hmm.
rigged. Okay, I am not watching that again. Okay, that's beside the point. They were roofing people at a gamers event. So those are some examples. Now we're gonna get to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Holmat, Holiday Matsuri. All right, this is not the first time this happened. I
Mm-hmm.
believe. Okay, I believe this has been happening for a while, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, but in this case, this one took it a little bit is a little different. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank again Cosplay Black Book for doing a really great deed.
Mm-hmm.
For cannot thank them enough for doing what they do. And I just want to say please keep up the great work,
Mm-hmm.
because this is helping all of us, especially for those in the cosplay community, for those who are new in the cosplay community. So big
And it's
shout.
also going to help. It's also going to help us with what to do in the next events moving forward. And it's
Like
not just with
Katsucon.
MagFest and Katsucon, not just MagFest and Katsucon, but any event. And I know for sure that the next events might be ALA in Los Angeles, Anime Los Angeles,
In
and I think
Ontario.
there's also Zenkai Con
That's my con.
and other stuff.
So even though just because the possibility is a little less doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's still
Mm-hmm.
there. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So according to Cosplay Black Book, they called it the game. So this is again, things can change because whole match just ended yesterday. Yesterday was the last day,
Mm-hmm.
and it's to Roofie cosplayers on the following list, but it includes but not limited to a lot of the Genshin Impact characters, the female Chainsaw Man characters.
Mm-hmm.
So Power, Makima, Mona Kaiya. I'm not good with Genshin Impact because I've never played the game, even though I've seen you play it. And then there were three other cosplays that they were trying to roofie, such as Misato from Evangelion, I can't even pronounce, Cruel or Farid from Seraph of the End. So
I haven't watched that series. From the list,
yes,
I'm only not familiar with Chef of the End. But other
yeah, I
than
haven't heard
that,
of either.
I feel like there's going to be a changing list. Like there's going to be potential that they're going to target Jujutsu Kaisen cosplayers,
Hmm.
Demon Slayer, Honkai Star Rail. So pretty much, those are going to be the types of fandoms that may need to be on high alert
Yeah,
when this
one
happens next time.
perpetrator. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Continue.
There was one perpetrator, according to Cosplay Black Book, who was wearing a Demon Slayer Haori, but they didn't specify which. But I don't want to, jump into conclusions or whatnot. I'm just gonna discuss
And
what's the information presented so far.
and again, for personal for it okay, what am I saying? So for confidentiality purposes, we're not going to name specific people. These are just like coming from sources from what we witnessed from Cosplay Black Book. So
Hmm.
we're not going to give out names. We're not going to describe exactly who that person is because again, it's all about that respect. Like
Correct. We're gonna
we
do our
don't want
best I
to.
can. You're my mod.
We're not here to do witch. We're not here for witch hunt or anything like
Nope.
that. We're just we're just here to give as much respect as we can. So these are just like coming from like the sources that were coming from the Cosplay Black Book.
So far.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna give our shout outs and cite Cosplay Black Book. We're also
Mm-hmm.
this is more of an education kind of thing. This is
Mm-hmm.
no witch hunt, okay? All right, Oompa
Mm-hmm.
Loompa, whoever, if you're watching, this is not a witch hunt. All right, just kidding. Okay, so according to sources, many got roofied. It was just within minutes. Many people started
Mm-hmm.
getting roofied. Many went to the ER. One person, so people thought that one person who was unresponsive, some people thought it was a death, but thank goodness the person is okay. The person got
Mhm.
medical attention and was sent to the ER and was on IV, according
Mhm.
to what I'm hearing. There was also one person, I believe it was a Miles Morales cosplayer, but
Mhm.
I can't really confirm that, who spiked a water
Again,
cooler.
yeah, and again, we don't want to like name specific names. And
Yeah,
again, like I don't know these people at all.
the
So why
person
should
is
I
not Miles
say okay,
Morales,
this person? Yeah,
but
that's all we can say.
yeah, anyone can dress up as Miles Morales. Okay, we're just saying it could be a Miles Morales cosplayer. We don't know.
Like pretty much, like again, like pretty much like the perpetrators, they're gonna be everywhere. They're gonna be hiding in plain sight. You don't know what they're actually gonna be dressed up as, and just like cosplayers, they're going to switch from like one cosplay to the other. Like let's say
Correct.
this person, they were cosplaying as Miles Morales, but then like the next time you may spot them, they're in a completely different cosplay. So of course, like they're trying to hide themselves in plain sight, in a way.
That is exactly right. And
Mm-hmm.
because they found out that one person spiked a water cooler, that means all the water coolers are at risk. And forget
Mm-hmm.
about drinking water from the sink in the bathroom. All right. So con staff had to give out water bottles sealed. They had
Mm-hmm.
to, because of this incident. And according to one of my friends is actually in whole actually went to Whole Mats.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when if I know one friend went, probably several more went. But
Yep.
she hasn't heard of any of this, but she has
Mm-hmm.
seen a large police presence due to
Mm-hmm.
this incident.
Yep.
And I will say this, maybe it's a little bit of a rant. I there's no I haven't heard anything from Holmats making a statement
Mm-hmm.
out of this. All I saw was Holmat going to Cosplay Black Book and stating if there are any incidents and whatnot to email them. So it
Mm-hmm.
could be two ways. So number one, it could be they don't want to get into this I guess this whole rabbit hole, so to speak. They just want to play it safe by just not saying anything. But
Mm-hmm.
when the impression I get is if you're not saying anything, you're not being aware of it, and or you're just ignoring it.
Mm-hmm.
So, or it could be the other. It could be the other possibility that they're still collecting information and the investigation's pending. I hope it's the
Mm-hmm.
latter. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but
And
at
it's
least
still an
make some
ongoing.
statement. Yeah,
It's still an ongoing investigation as well. Like, sure, the convention has ended, but then they're still like looking into it. And I feel
hmm
like for the next few days or so, we might get some more information about the incidents as to why it happened and what went wrong and how we can be able to better ourselves. So it's still an
exactly.
ongoing investigation.
hmm
So we can't. The only thing that we can do is just like wait and see what's going to happen. But overall, again, like I said, we're always going to be aware. We're trying to like learn more about how these things happen, and we want to be able to prepare ourselves better moving forward.
Oh yeah, it's not on the slides, but they recently caught the perpetrator.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, if there's one perpetrator, there's probably several of them.
Yeah.
So it's as you said, it's pending. The investigation's
Mm-hmm.
pending. When you find one person, you probably find several more.
Mm-hmm.
And this is really unfortunate and very aberrant.
And they could, and again, like they're always going to hide their faces. They're just like hiding within the crowd.
That's
You know.
exactly right. They're
Mm-hmm.
using anonymity as a weapon, basically.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and or a cloak, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's missing Shelby. Look at the
Senior
screen. Yeah.
Shelby, long time no
Woo!
see.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? This is a very, very important. I thank you so much for coming
Long
to
time
and
no
modding.
see.
We got two mods.
I miss
Yes,
you. I miss
we
you.
miss you. Hey, te extrañamos.
Hmm.
That's what it means. Okay, so
But yeah,
so you come to the meat and potatoes, Senor Shelby. we're gonna talk
Mm-hmm.
about
In your Shelby.
John.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's right, Josh. They're hiding from plain sight so they don't get into trouble. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is rohypnol. That's where the roofie word came from. Rohypnol, flunitrazepam, which is banned in the U.S. It's a
Mm-hmm.
benzodiazepine, which I will get into detail later on. Another
Mm-hmm.
one is what you call GHB. It's gamma hydroxybutyric acid or sodium oxybate. Same thing. So if you hear any of those, now you know. All right. And there's actually an FDA approval for GHB, but I have not seen it in practice. The third one is Ketalar, but the common name, the generic name is ketamine. And you see this more in the hospitals. Also, an FDA approved medication is used as an anesthetic. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
little foreshadowing there. And lastly, which everyone knows, is alcohol. And I actually have a story to talk about, but it's not has nothing to do with being roofied. But it's
Mm-hmm.
I was on Katsucon 2022. I got drunk for the first time in my entire life, and
A.
I will talk about it. No, that's not good. Oh,
Okay, and
my
also,
yeah,
what is okay if I could add in something as well. Now,
yes.
it's not just with these drugs that I'm seeing over here, but could you also add anything that's related to cough syrup or cough medicine? Like I know
We can
as of
do
late
that.
I've been
Yeah,
taking Robitussin as well as
Robitussin. Okay,
Mucinex because
okay.
I'm trying to like recover from the cough and chest congestions, and which I still have right now. But
Mm-hmm.
could they also be in that list? Because mixing that with alcohol is always going to be a big no-no.
Well, I'll
Now,
talk
of
about
course,
that one. It's drug interaction.
because I know for sure that the cough medicines it's not just the ones that I mentioned earlier. It could be mixed up with let's say Sprite, and of course that's where these rappers they say purple drink or syrup and stuff
Oh,
like
it's scissor.
that. I feel like
Scissor. I
that's
know what
what
you're
it's
talking
like
about.
to come in.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I feel like that should have been included as well because like who knows, somebody could just like pour a little bit of that cough syrup on top of that alcohol, and all of a sudden
Mm-hmm.
like they're gonna feel unconscious. They're still going to feel the same side effects as
Correct.
getting roofied as well.
Yeah. Let me put my pharmacy hat. Oh, actually, my pharmacy hat is already on.
Mm-hmm,
So, thank you for bringing it up. All right. I put in common roofie
mm-hmm,
drugs that I've seen. They're not limited
mm-hmm,
to these four items.
mm-hmm,
So the fifth item you were talking about is promethazine with codeine or Phenergan with codeine.
mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
in my previous job, the one that I resigned this year, we had a lot of prescriptions of promethazine with codeine, and especially when
Mm-hmm,
people were coughing. So
mm-hmm,
promethazine is used for dry coughs, and it's also has some antihistamine effects, and that one will knock you out. I've taken when I was so this goes back to when I went to Orlando. I was actually sick in Orlando for the
mm-hmm,
pharmacy conference, and the hotel was near the Orange County Convention Center. And I took Phenergan with dextromethorphan or the DM. So DM for short, not direct message, but it was promethazine with DM. It was disgusting, but
mm-hmm,
it knocked me out. There was no codeine whatsoever. But to your point, promethazine with codeine, you get your double whammy. Oh wait, when you add alcohol, you get a triple whammy.
mm-hmm,
Okay, and that's if you're not taking any other medications. That's if you don't have any other comorbidities. All right.
mm-hmm,
There's already an interaction by itself with codeine because codeine is an opioid. And
mm-hmm,
all opioids, they interact with good old alcohol. And that will amplify the effects.
mm-hmm.
And people will just get knocked out and the perpetrators will take advantage. So very important. Thank you very much. I
Now, also,
appreciate
like,
it.
going back to the cough syrups, like the ones I mentioned,
Yes.
Mucinex, Robitussin.
Okay. You can say NyQuil.
Um,
Some NyQuil's
okay, I forgot to
formulations.
say
Yeah.
Nyquil, but I feel like that's also very common. Now,
Yeah,
I feel
of
like
course.
of course, like it's easily obtainable, but then I feel like that
Hmm.
I can that also like have the same side effects as if you're putting codeine on somebody's drink and making that syrup.
All right. So for NyQuil, for example, so NyQuil, think night, right? So
Mm-hmm,
it may not have as fast of an effect, but it could still knock the person out. Okay, particularly
Mm-hmm.
if it has diphenhydramine, which is the active ingredient for Benadryl. All right, it's used for allergies. People use that like when they have a rash or allergic reaction.
Mm-hmm.
But the classic side effect is getting knocked out and sleeping. There's also doxylamine. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and that's in NyQuil, so that will do the same thing. Yeah, that's me, and some of my friends don't drink alcohol because we take medication. That's
Mm-hmm.
correct. You should not be. Thank you. There are people who don't listen to me. Okay.
And also, like another thing too is that mixing those not just with those drugs that you have on the board, but also with the cough medicine, cough syrups, whatever, regardless whether it's codeine or not, it can potentially lead you to somebody's death. You know, it could possibly kill somebody.
Yeah, don't be a mad scientist. Go to school first, okay?
Yeah.
Get your college education, okay? Go through the rigorous exams, please. Don't
Also,
experiment for yourself because it could hurt yourself or it can hurt other
mhm.
people.
And also, like with that being said, I cannot stress this enough. Like, if you feel the need that you need to bring some cough medicine, do not take alcohol. If you want to drink, you stay the heck away from cough medicine. So it's either one or the other, but never ever both.
Use a
Even within
mocktail.
like the same time frame. Because
Use a
again,
mocktail.
like let's say you decide to drink around like let's say 6 p.m. You want to be able to get your pregame on before you go to those raves or those parties, or you go from like one room to the other, right? But then like all of a sudden you feel a sudden headache. And I feel like because you regardless of like how many drinks you have, I feel like you must stay away from that cough medicine or that cough syrup, you know?
Correct.
Because like if you do take cough medicine because you're feeling those coughs, if you already drunk alcohol, then I feel like that could seriously put your life in danger.
Correct.
Hmm.
Wow, you know a lot of this. Amazing. Oh, you're the
This is
best.
coming from this is just like coming from like personal theories.
Mm-hmm.
Because like when I was actually like on the Mucinex or Robitussin, like
Mucinex or
the only
Robitussin,
thing
yeah.
that I need to drink is just water. That's it.
You're supposed to.
Water,
Have to drink a lot
not
of water.
not everything else. And
So,
heck, you can't even have any soda as well.
no,
That's
please,
also a
no.
big no-no because again, like knowing the history, knowing like what I've mentioned with like cough syrup and let's say Sprite or ginger ale, that could be a deadly mix regardless.
Correct. All right, so just off topic a little bit, the reason why you have to
Mhm.
drink a lot of water is because with Mucinex or Robitussin, it contains an active ingredient called guaifenesin, and it's used as what we
Mhm.
call mucolytic, so it breaks down the mucus. It can't do it
Mhm.
by itself. You need to drink a lot of water, and a lot
Mhm.
of times when I do it, I always turn on the humidifier as well.
Mhm.
And when it comes to hydration, you can do just regular water, but I also, on top of that, and this is just me, all right, this is
Mhm.
not scientifically proven, I always drink hot fluids in addition to
Mhm.
drinking regular room temperature water.
Mhm.
And it's for two reasons. It's to make it soothing. Of course, don't drink it when it's boiling hot, right? Just make it when it's hot enough that you can tolerate it. But
Mhm.
the also the steam that comes out of it, right? In
Mhm.
addition to me using the the, the humidifier, and I prefer cool mist.
Mhm.
But cool mist, hot mist, it's up to you. It's just hot. It makes me sweat, and I need cooler temperatures so I can sleep. Oh, hello, hello,
I
Sugar
feel the same. I
Crochet.
don't drink alcohol because of meditation and cardiac issues.
That's correct.
Gotcha.
It can cause
Hmm.
cardiac issues. Yes.
It can make things a little bit worse as well.
hmm Because of I
Medication,
love drinking
medication.
because of
Mhm.
it's medication. Yeah, not meditation.
I sugar
Well,
pop rocket.
it's better to meditate sober, right?
Yep, of course.
Yeah.
It's
So,
better. We do our best to stay sober, but then like I feel like most people we still
LOL.
want to like have drinks so that we can have fun. But then again, like
Safely.
even when we're in that state of like oh we're feeling dizzy and all that stuff, like we still need to like keep our focus. Like whenever I get drunk or if I'm high, like I still retain my focus as much as I can. Like I'm fighting those highs. I'm fighting like being being too relaxed because like I have to go somewhere. I have to go places. I need to be conscious enough to go back to my room. I need to be conscious enough to safely get back home because if I myself am alone and I suddenly pass out, nobody's gonna help me. Or worse,
Correct.
things might my shit will get stolen, and also I might feel assaulted as well.
Mhm. All right, let's get down and dirty, okay? So Rohypnol
Mhm,
or flunitrazepam, it's a benzodiazepine. It's under the same family, so for anyone who's familiar with it, if you take Valium, Xanax, Ativan, Klonopin,
mhm,
etc., okay, they're all brothers and sisters under the same family of the benzodiazepine class or BZDs. Some you'll hear
mhm,
BZDs. That's benzodiazepine. So they all
mhm,
have similar effects. Right? People who use Xanax and Klonopin and Ativan, a lot of times it's for anxiety. Valium can be used for many things. It can be anxiety, anti-agitation, etc. And those you can also use as to roofie people. It's just Rohypnol is more common simply because it takes a shorter amount of time, and also it's 10 times as potent as Xanax. So
mhm,
in being a sedative, and it's also used for anti-anxiety and muscle relaxant in other parts of the country. So
mhm,
effects begin about 20 to 30 minutes and could last for several hours. That's assuming if you're not having anything in your system. All right.
mhm,
And it interacts, of course, the good old alcohol and other CNS depressants. So if you're taking opioids, that's a CNS depressant, CNS meaning central nervous system. So if you're taking pain medications like opioids, like oxycodones, your hydrocodones, oxycontins, Vicodins, codeines. If you're taking Tylenol number 3, number 4, even number 2, oh, they're all of them, anything with codeine, that kind of thing.
mhm,
It affects
mhm,
neuro and psych meds. So if you're taking, for example, gabapentin, that's a neurological medication that's used to treat nerve pain, particularly with the legs. Okay, if you're taking and other psych meds like SSRIs, it stands for selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Those can interact with Rohypnol. So SNRIs, selective norepinephrine reuptake inhibitors. So a lot of drug interactions. All right,
mhm,
and effects. Being unconscious. That's what the predators are looking for, them being unconscious, and then they go right at it before the victim wakes up. Bradycardia, so the slowing of the heart rate. Bradypnea, slowing of the breathing rate. Amnesia, so there's going to
mhm,
be memory impairment once the person wakes up.
mhm.
And there are a lot of street names. See the picture over there? It says Roche. I know it's a little small. That's one of the
Ladoka.
that's one of the street names, but Roche is
Mhm,
actually a manufacturing company.
mhm.
So people call them circles, forget me pill, La Rocha, Roche, or
All
Roche.
sorts of names. All
All
sorts of
sorts of
names,
names. Lunch
regardless.
money
Mhm.
drug, Mexican Valium, what? Pingus,
Genghis.
R2, Roach 2, Roofies. I think Roach 2 is in the 2 milligrams, but Roofies,
Mhm.
or Ruffies, Rofies,
All
Wolfies.
that stuff. All that stuff. Like
All
regardless
from
regardless where you are, there's always going to be certain names that are associated with that specific drug. Like pretty much they don't usually in one area they don't call it La Roca or Mexican Valium. They just refer to like let's say Rofies or just Roofies, and then like
yes.
so yeah. But either way, it's still going to be that same particular drug whatsoever,
Hmm.
right?
And this is just the basics. All right, there's more
Mm-hmm.
information to it. There's probably more street names than that, but this is
Mm-hmm.
just the basics, just so you
It's a
know
long.
what you're dealing with.
We could go all day about those
Oh
lists and
yes,
all that stuff. We're not gonna like name each one of them. These are just like common
correct.
examples of what they usually call it.
Here's the next one:
Mm-hmm.
GHB, gamma hydroxybutyric acid, or sodium oxybate. And you see that bottle? It says heaven. So it's like it's so you can think, okay, it's euphoric. in a way.
So I feel like this is in liquid form as well. Like I know for
Correct.
sure, like based on like what the posts are suggesting, it could be like in those pill forms. But and as I mentioned
Fresh.
earlier, it could
Hmm.
also be in liquid form as well. Like they could just
Yes.
like pour a drop of it, or even like dump all of that into somebody's drink, and it's
Yeah,
gonna have like that
mhm.
particular, obviously different color than it already is. Now, in that case, you need to throw that out because, like, let's say you ordered a drink, and then let's say it's like a cranberry juice type of thing, but then like if the medicine is of a different color, and they suddenly like just pour that in, and your drink looks a little bit different, toss it away immediately. Do
We're
not
gonna
take a
go
single
into
sip
that.
out of it.
Yes.
Toss it.
Oh, I love your appetizers. That's what I call them,
Mhm.
appetizers. Those are the little bits of
Yep.
information that's gonna come in later on. I
But
love
yeah,
it.
like based on like what I'm seeing from the photo over here, it's in liquid form. Yes.
In this case, it's in liquid form. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen other pictures, but I've seen more of like this. So
Mm-hmm.
this one, there is an FDA approval, but it's under a brand name of Xyrem to treat
Mm-hmm.
narcolepsy. Oh, says here, first time
Sorry for
check.
bothering you.
Sorry to. Oh, you know what? I gotta
No, no, no,
block
no, no.
this person. How do I do
Hold
this?
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I got you. I got you. Give me one
Thank you.
second. Give me 1 second. Okay, okay, okay. It's gonna take a while, but please continue.
Yes, all right, sure.
Continue. Continue.
Okay, so effects begin in about 15 to 30 minutes, and it could last for 3 to 6 hours. So similar in the time frame as Rohypnol. And thank you. All right,
Yes, yes, yes.
interacts with
I got you. I got you.
and just like Rohypnol, it interacts with alcohol, other CNS depressants, and neuron psych meds. Lots of drug interactions. So it affects, it says here, euphoria, drowsiness. It's people use that to reduce anxiety. However, it can
Mm-hmm.
also cause confusion or memory impairment. Low
Oh.
doses will make you nausea, but high
Mm-hmm.
doses, as you know, because it's a date, you can use this as a date rape drug, or you can use that to roofie people. It causes
Mm-hmm.
consciousness. High
Mm-hmm.
doses can cause seizures because everything goes down, 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 and then it's gonna lead to that. And because your
Mm-hmm.
body's trying to fight back, say, hey, this is not balanced. Let's get back to balance. Bradycardia. So as I said, a slow heart rate. Bradypnea, slow respiratory rate, breathing rate. Low body temperature, not good.
Mm-hmm.
Hypothermia, nausea, vomiting, coma. It could be death. Now,
Mm-hmm.
all medicate. Well, almost. I'm gonna say all medications. Screw it. It's not about what it kills, is how much. It's the dose that makes the poison, not the agents.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say that that's a golden pharmacist rule. All right, it's the dose. All right,
Mm-hmm.
because if just years ago, you remember there was I don't know if you know this, there was a contest called Hold Your Wee for a Wee. All right,
Mm-hmm.
and basically it's to drink as much water as possible without going to the bathroom, and whoever drinks the most water without going to the bathroom wins. The person who won
Yeah.
died.
Yeah. Also, I would like to ask now with even though like I did mention liquid medicines like the cough syrups and
Yes.
even GHB. I know it comes into I know that they have like distinctive colors, but
Mm-hmm.
with the GHB, is this in like in its clear form to the point where like you'll never notice whether or
I've
not
seen
there's
clear.
actually like some GHB in those drinks or not? Because if it's in clear form, then you know something you'll never distinguish between like, oh, this is just a regular drink or this is a spike drink, you know? Because with cough syrup, they have like let's say they have like that maroon color, they have that purple
Yes.
color, or even like with the Mucinex, it is in blue color.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unless there is a drink that matches that particular color, like let's say you get like a blueberry drink and then also you have a blue Mucinex cough
Yes.
syrup, right? Now, oh, I feel like if you're gonna mix in like let's say a cranberry juice drink with with Mucinex, which is blue, I feel like the difference would be obvious. But then if it's
Hmm.
going to be like one color to one color, or if it's clear, then that's when you know that people are going to differentiate it. They're not going to like know whether or not it is actual it's an actual drink or not, right?
Well, I gotta tell you something. So it comes in a white powder, but when you dissolve
Mhm.
it in water, it's colorless.
Yeah.
So that's GHB for you. And
Hmm.
that's why you got to open your eyes. So we're going to talk about that more like when you notice
Hmm.
drinks. So
Yes.
that's very very important. Okay. So,
Hmm.
street names. Easy Lay. Oh lord. G Georgia Homeboy. Goop. Grievous bodily harm. Wow.
Georgia homeboy. What?
Yes.
All right, you can continue. You can continue.
You can ask. It's I can't believe it myself when I even wrote
No, no,
this.
no. But anyways, you can continue. You can
Liquid
continue.
ecstasy? Yeah, because of the euphoria. Liquid X. Oh, Elon Musk will be pissed about that.
Hmm.
Just kidding. Goo? And from Cosplay Black Book, it was cherry meth. Someone calls it cherry
Hmm.
meth. And then heaven, as
Hmm.
it's stated on the bottle.
Yeah.
People are crazy. All
I
right.
mean, there's like there's and again just like the previous drug, there could be more names, but I feel like it's gonna be much longer if we name every single one of them. But like the idea is just like right over there, you know.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So next one is ketamine or Ketalar for the brand. That's one example. That's the vial used in hospitals. It's a
Hmm.
hallucinogen and an anesthetic, so it distorts perception of light. I'm sorry, of sight and sound, and makes the person who takes the medication disconnected from the pain and environment. So that's an advantage for the perpetrator. So when that person is not in reality, the person's not going to be aware that the person's being raped. Well, should I say? I hope I don't get banned for saying this, but you know, assaulted or whatnot.
Yes.
Right. And this is the killer here. Not killer,
Hmm.
so to speak, but this is the one that hurts. It's almost
Hmm.
immediate, and it
Hmm.
and it could last for 30 to 60 minutes. Very short. Right.
Hmm.
And you already know what it interacts with. So many things.
Hmm.
Alcohol, your pain meds, your psych meds, your neuro meds. And if you overdose, you already know unconsciousness and
Hmm.
really bad, very slow heart rate.
Hmm.
Street names include Cat Tranquilizer, Cat Valium, Jet K, Kit Kat, Purple. I don't know how the purple came in because in this case it comes in a clear in a clear
Like
liquid.
you could mix this at any gate. You could mix it in any drink, and I feel like
Basically,
nobody's gonna
yes.
notice. Like I said, you know,
Special K, not
that's the
the
scary
one
part.
for breakfast. Yeah, that is scary. Special K, not the one for breakfast. Special
Hmm.
Lacote, Super Acid, Super K, Vitamin K. And Vitamin K
Hmm.
is used for something else, by the way. The actual Vitamin
Yeah.
K. Unbelievable. Lastly,
Wow. This.
alcohol. And that's Brian Griffin over there. Okay. So that's because he loves to drink alcohol, and alcohol is not for dogs. Okay, shouldn't be doing that.
Okay,
So
so when you say alcohol, like I know for sure that there are alcoholic drinks, but then like when I see this, I think it's that alcohol that is used for like let's say treating the wounds, right?
okay, so
Right?
we're talking about ethyl alcohol or ethanol. All right, so yeah, that same alcohol is also used to treat. Yeah, that's correct in wounds
Hmm.
or used as for wipes for disinfecting. The
Yes, because like
alcohol that
I do
yeah.
remember,
Hmm.
because like I do remember when I actually like had a cut on like my middle finger. Like I don't know if you anybody could notice this, but like I actually like had something in a counter, and I feel like I saw ethyl alcohol, so I actually like had to like use it to treat the wound and also like prevent any further infection before applying the dressing or the bandage,
Hmm.
right? So I
Hmm.
feel like that's pretty much like what I was thinking whenever I see the ethyl alcohol. But
Yeah,
then
ethyl
before that,
alcohol, ethanol is the alcohol that people drink as well, in addition to the alcohol being used put in the
mhm,
wipes. And alcohol is
mhm,
also that same alcohol is also used to dissolve certain medications that cannot be dissolved in water.
uh-huh,
Blows your mind, right?
uh,
That's why I love
yeah,
chemistry. So,
mhm,
okay, I'm gonna put my organic chemistry hat on. When I think of alcohol, and I'm gonna show this. Actually, I'm gonna go back here. When I think of alcohol, I think of this OH. All right. Well, this is,
uh-huh,
but the organic chemistry in me, the alcohol is actually any organic any organic molecule, so hydrocarbons that has
mhm,
an OH and only an OH at the end. All
mhm,
right, that's what alcohol means. But in
yep,
but in layman's terms, when it comes to drinking alcohol, the alcohol that people drink is ethanol. All right. Also,
mhm,
that same ethanol that people use to put in their gas in as gasoline. All right. And there are other
ooh,
alcohols. Yeah. So you use that ethanol so we can drink to get drunk
mhm,
or to feel better. All right. I mean, when you have different alcoholic drinks, that doesn't mean the alcohol doesn't change. All of them are ethanol. All right.
mhm,
Again, same thing. People use that as rubbing alcohol as well. If you use
mhm,
isopropyl alcohol, don't drink it because you'll create a different molecule and it's going to hurt your liver among other things. Already alcohol affects your liver. There is what we call wood alcohol, that is what it's called methanol. That's
mhm,
poisonous. All right, there I
mhm,
remember watching this episode years ago. You know House, right?
mhm,
So there was a person who, I don't know how this happened. This person had methanol poisoning, and if I remember the episode correctly, I think a house was having like was drinking alcohol, was drinking ethanol, or just having a regular
mhm,
alcoholic drink, and and
mhm,
this is not the don't I don't recommend doing this. You have to check with your doctor first. But this is just
mhm,
telling you what I saw years ago on that episode. So
mhm,
they were drinking a lot of alcohol, and it was for the alcohol to get into the receptors instead of methanol getting into the receptors, so they could reduce the poisoning.
mhm.
So it's a weird thing that I just remembered. So
And also, like, I just want to like chime in and say, like, with the different types of alcohol, like, let's say one used for rubbing, for like treating
hmm
wounds. The other, which is obviously the most common, like, is drinking, and also like you did mention that it's also used for like fueling your car or used for gasoline, right? So I
yeah,
feel like
there's
even
some
though there is a
yeah.
little bit of gas, there's a little bit of that alcohol, regardless how much or how little. I feel like
hmm
each and every single alcohol kind of have like their own function,
Correct,
right?
that is exactly right.
But then like they still have that OH in it, yes.
Yes. So there you're gonna see. I'm gonna go back to my structures again. I don't know if you've taken organic chemistry though, Nikki. All right.
I
So
do remember. I kind of like remember chemistry from like my high school and college days, and I am not really good with it.
okay. So is this alcohol? It's only as OH with those hydrocarbons here. You're gonna see another
Mm-hmm.
OH here. You would not call this an
Uh-huh.
alcohol. This one is what we
Uh-huh.
call an acid over here, the
Mm-hmm.
COOH. All right.
Uh-huh.
So now you can still say this is the alcohol moiety. You can say that, but you can't say this whole thing
Mm-hmm.
as an alcohol, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
All
Mm-hmm.
right. So it may have similar effects. Like look at this. Look at the structures here, but they're still different people. It's like saying
Mm-hmm.
the president of the U.S. and the president of Canada. They have the same level. They're different people, but they have
Mm-hmm.
basically similar levels in terms of leadership. Well, actually, not president of Canada, prime minister of Canada. All right, and then president of the
Or
U.S.
like let's say you're distinguishing like let's say a French person with somebody from Russia or a Russian person um from, like, let's say another Slavic country like Poland, Ukraine, etc. You know,
Yeah,
is it the same thing?
they're not the same, even though
Mm-hmm.
they have eyes and ears and nose and necks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're under the
Or how about
umbrella of the.
or how about us? Like, we can slightly be mistaken for somebody from, like, let's say Malaysia or Vietnam.
We're from the same country. We look like we're distant cousins, but there's no proof
Yeah,
of that, right? So
in a way,
we look
right?
similar,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that I just want to bring that to point up. So anyway, so interacts with, we already know alcohol interacts with so many more medications. All right, so
Mm-hmm.
in addition to your psych meds, your neurological meds, your other CNS depressants like your opioids and your
Mm-hmm.
pain medications,
Mm-hmm.
and even your OTC products. So it also interacts with blood thinners. Warfarin or Coumadin is a classic
Mm-hmm.
example. Antibiotics, particularly something called metronidazole or Flagyl. All right, a little bit of alcohol interact with metronidazole, you got one of the worst hangovers in your life.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you're on metronidazole, stop the alcohol. All right, so
Mm-hmm.
very, 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 very important. For
Mm-hmm.
for most, for most, the onset effect is about 15 to 45 minutes. That's what I went
Mm-hmm.
through. And
Mm-hmm.
duration is about 1 hour per glass. And many factors can change it, which we'll
Oh,
talk about. Story
so
time.
like the more you
Yes,
drink, the longer it would last, I believe, right?
that's
And
basically that's the basis part. But there is
mm-hmm.
other factors because it's life. Life is complex. So
Mm-hmm.
story time. I was in so Katsucon 2022. You know that bar, right? It's called Replay. It
Yep.
was an 80s bar at the, is it Penthouse, I think? But it's at the very top
Um,
floor.
is it like, okay? So it's an '80s bar, but like I know for sure that there's the one that's like near the what you call
It's
this,
in the Gaylord.
near the check. Yes, I know, but then like it's like near the checkout for when you're checking out on
Yes,
the
that's right. It's
hotel.
like across the hallway from where you check out,
Mm-hmm.
where where you do the coat check and the bag check. I remember because
Okay.
you have an entrance oh,
Okay.
oh, your camera, you're buffering. Okay. So you have an entrance here,
Oh,
right?
yikes, 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 yikes. Okay, okay.
You have an
Mm-hmm.
entrance here, and then so if you're facing,
Yeah.
when you're exiting, right? On the I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
left side, that's the bar. The
Yeah.
elevator that goes straight to the bar, and then on the
Okay. Yes.
right
Yes. Yes. Yes.
side,
And I think that's the bar with
yeah.
those. I think not only like with the tables, but also like some couches,
Oh
but
yes,
not
I
too
sat on
many.
one of them.
Okay.
It had like a
That one.
spiraling
Okay.
staircase, I think, or it had one of those staircases because there's like another level there, but it's not a
Oh
full
yeah.
floor, if I remember
Mm-hmm.
correctly. I just
Okay, but
remember,
anyways.
yeah, I just remember that was the first time I got drunk in my life. So I'll explain
Okay,
how it goes.
you can continue.
So
You can continue.
I had this drink that was 30 something dollars, okay? And I wasn't sure what to do. My neighbor
Mm-hmm.
says, "Dean, you're a pharmacist. It's just one night." And I said, "Okay, fine, I'll go for it." And then there's the one that says, "Make it fun." It's like, you know what? You're right, my friend. You're right. You're my friend. It's one night. Let's make it fun. So
Mm-hmm.
I had this big. I don't have the picture, but it was a big wine glass. It's like a, they call it the bulldog or whatever that is, the glass. And it had the cookies and all that stuff. And it was one of the sweetest drinks I've ever had.
Ooh,
And
okay.
because of the cookies and all those things on top of it, and that milkshake, it felt like I ate at a buffet. I was full. And then I
Ooh, yeah.
started about 30, like maybe 20, 30 minutes later, which is within that 15 to 45-minute time frame, I started getting dizzy, I started getting nauseous,
Mm-hmm.
and my neighbor was looking at me. I was like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm okay." It's like, "I can handle, I just need to breathe." And I started sweating.
Oh Lord.
I've drank alcohol before, but nothing happened to me. But this was like, what is this? and
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna make this sound, trigger warning. It's a little disgusting, but I was only doing it with air. Nothing. I
Uh-huh.
didn't vomit at all. I was just so I started walking, and I was walking a little funny, and I was
Mm-hmm.
able to get my 18 plus wristband, and I attended
Mm-hmm.
an 18 plus panel. Everything was fine. I
Mm.
did knock out a little bit in
Uh-huh.
sleep, but I was able to finish the panel because I was going and then I went to the room to my room with so there was Ryan, there was oh, actually I shouldn't be doing names anyway, but sorry.
Just a few friends
There's a
of
few.
ours, right?
There's Ryan, there was Jeff who was from Long
Mm-hmm.
Island but now he's in Maryland, I think, but
Yeah.
DMV area. So there were
Mm-hmm.
several people, they were playing Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm.
Everything turned black.
Good lord.
Everything turned black. I
Like
woke
your
up the
screen,
next
or
morning.
was it just you, man?
So I wasn't playing Mario Kart 8. So it was everyone on the bed sitting and playing Mario Kart 8. And I saw the TV. After I saw the TV, everything went black.
Oh man. So it's kind of like a technical issue. It's not
No,
like,
my
oh, I'm
eyes
imagining
went
things.
black. No, no technical issue. They were playing Mario Kart 8. Nothing happened except that my vision went black.
Dang, that's
After I
crazy.
remember they were playing on their controllers. I think it was a Wii and the Nintendo Switch, and I
Yeah,
was
Nintendo
watching the
Switch.
screen and watching them playing Mario Kart 8. And then my vision went black.
Like like you just got knocked out. Yeah?
So I found out the next morning, and I woke up and was like, "Wait, weren't you playing Mario Kart 8?" And one of them said, yes, we are, Dean. By the way, you knocked out." I was like,
Yeah.
"What?" And I asked a stupid question. Was I snoring? And I was informed that I was a really loud snorer. So,
Yes. I get that as well.
but my memory didn't seem affected. The only I just remembered watching them play Mario Kart 8, and everything
Uh-huh.
turned black.
Hmm.
And actually, to be honest, when I sleep, uh, I don't hear anything, I don't feel anything, I don't taste anything, I don't see any. Everything's black. I don't hear anything. I don't know. Am I a deep sleeper? So they tell me I'm a deep sleeper, and I snore
Yes.
loud, and I don't hear
Hmm.
anything. I will tell the truth.
Yeah.
I don't even do anything. But what? But yeah, so many factors can change it, and we're gonna dig deep into alcohol. So factors that can
Uh-huh.
change the effects of
Also, I
alcohol.
would like.
Yes. Go ahead.
Mhm. I also like I would like to admit that on that same year, I actually puked for the very first time at Katsucon. But I think it was
Mm,
actually like in the morning, like before I changed into Scaramouche from Genshin Impact.
yeah.
I was trying to like go down so that I can be able to heat up some food, but the microwave was still busted. But it's just that as I tried to move a single inch, like I started feeling something weird in my stomach, and then I had to look for the closest garbage bin. And I think it was like in that one cafe where they sell bread, breakfast stuff, and all that stuff, right? And I
Yes.
puked in there, as opposed to like let's say puking on the elevator, in which I witnessed in one of those elevators that when my friends and I came in to go to our room, there was literally puke on that one elevator that we were in,
Just like the
coming
subway.
from me. Yeah,
Oh, I got a
but
story
yeah.
for that. Oh my goodness. So it
Hmm.
was 2 years ago. It's gonna be very short. I promise.
Okay.
So I was in the Showboat Hotel, and because my friend runs PuchiCon, and
Uh-huh.
I was invited to panel, and I was going into my hotel room, and then there was this
Hmm.
blonde lady who came in and said, "Can you press 6, please?" And then I think she was with her partner or whatnot. She was carrying a case of 6 Coronas, and her partner was also
Hmm.
carrying another case of six
Hmm.
Coronas. Can you please let me know when we get to 6, please? and I asked her, "Are you okay?" And she told me, "Yes, I'm drunk. I'm okay, but I'm drunk." But
Mm,
that was one of the first times I've ever seen anyone getting drunk. But I think this was like really
yeah.
serious.
Or just like witness anybody in particular who is like talking as if they are drunk. Yes.
Yes, my
Mm-hmm.
neighbor got drunk but didn't show effects. She was just saying,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, I feel dizzy," but he was walking as if he's not drunk.
Mm-hmm.
So, and at the time, he drove me to Anime Next, but we took Uber instead because he parked at the hotel. Thank
Mm-hmm.
goodness.
Mm-hmm.
So, alcohol. The effects of alcohol can be. There are many, many, many factors that can affect the alcohol's effect on the body, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes any sense. I know that's a lot of words. So first is age. So usually very young, alcohol's bad,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're young adults. But when you
Mm-hmm.
actually when you're not young adults, but when you're teenagers, no. When you get to the legal age and whatnot, you'll be okay, assuming that you occasionally drink. You don't drink too much, or where you kill your liver.
Yeah,
Your liver is able. Yeah,
that's why like in those advertisements printed or in like let's say televised media, they're always going to tell you drink moderately because the more you drink alcohol, the worse your body is going to feel, and you could possibly die
they
from
don't know what
alcohol
moderately
poisoning.
means. Well, not all of them. I
Mhm.
don't think people really. There are people who think they know what moderate means. I don't think they really know.
Like I feel like
However,
there is
yeah,
a certain level wherein like you can only take so much alcohol to the point wherein like you're going to feel drunk, you're going to feel dizzy, and I feel like the alcohol tolerance varies from person to person because of
correct.
like their weight and how much alcohol they've taken and all that stuff. There's like so many factors
That's right.
which
It's
can
right in front of
affect
you.
how long, which could
That's right.
affect like how your body can tolerate with the alcohol, you know. And
Correct.
also like the thing about me, before I even like ingest alcohol or before I like start drinking, I always want to make sure that I have a full stomach, you know,
Very good.
because if I drink on an empty stomach, I'm gonna feel like shit.
You got that right because it's gonna hit you so hard.
Mm-hmm.
So great, very good points. So
Mm-hmm.
age, so you're more sensitive. You're very bad when you're young, but when you reach legal age, you're able to drink as long as you
Mm-hmm.
drink it moderately, as in one drink a day, which they may change. United States
Mm-hmm.
may change that. Canada, they have it as only 2 drinks a week
But
max.
kind of, but like think of it this way, like it's kind of like that you know like that slope where in like it gradually goes up and then later on it hits that point, right? I
Yes.
forgot the name of it, but then like it's just I'm just like drawing it with my hands. So after
Mhm.
you get to that point, it slowly declines with an age. Like the older you get, the worse it would feel. Like of
Yeah,
course
that's
like
correct. You're more
at a very young
sensitive.
age, at an
Hmm.
old age, your body cannot tolerate alcohol. Kids and even seniors cannot tolerate alcohol, but for adults, they can only take so much.
That's correct. Very good point.
And also,
The
like
next, yes. Hmm.
there's like so many factors that take in play as well. But yeah, you get the idea.
Yes,
It's
sex
just
and
gonna be like
gender.
that one. Oh,
Yes.
mm-hmm,
Life is not fair, right? Sex and gender also affects
mm-hmm,
also can play a factor in the effect of alcohol.
mm-hmm,
Men tend to have a higher tolerance because of our metabolic rate, or our metabolism, and also we
mm-hmm,
have much more fluid. Women, they don't have as much muscle, and they tend to get more sensitive to that,
mm-hmm,
and they have less water volume. I mean, in terms of ratios, all right?
mm-hmm,
Genetics. Asians. We're Asians, so we lack an enzyme called aldehyde dehydrogenase. Aldehyde dehydrogenase converts one of the alcohol metabolites to
mm-hmm,
acetic acid, which is found in vinegar. All right, which goes into Krebs cycle, which I won't get into because that's not part of this is not a biology class. All right,
Well,
so
yeah, like I think the ideas are just like right over there. There's so many factors, and usually like when you mix in like other stuff, like let's say the drugs that you mentioned, it could have like a worsening effect, you know.
that's correct. So
Mhm.
basically, not much, a little bit of alcohol, like a little lesser volume, or a lesser volume will just be enough to get you. Right? That's what
Mhm.
genetics is.
Mhm.
Comorbidities. So if you
Mhm.
have cardiovascular issues, so like our friend here, Sugar Pop Crochet, cardiac issues. If you have cardiac issues, if you're diabetic, no alcohol for you. I know there's still
Mhm.
diabetics who are trying to drink alcohol. No, no, please don't.
Mhm.
All right. If you have liver issues, no alcohol. All right. Hydration. So if you're dehydrated, you are more sensitive to the effects of alcohol when you drink, as opposed if you're fully hydrated. And we'll talk
Mhm.
about hydration actually. So body
Mhm.
mass is another one. The skinnier you are, the more sensitive you are, obviously. That's right, no alcohol. Okay, so the
I
big
feel like yeah, I feel like with the body mass, like I know for sure that I have a friend who's a little bit thinner than I am, but then like he still constantly drinks almost occasionally, but not like every week or so, but
Mhm.
then like all usually occasionally. Whereas I myself I hardly drink. I just like hardly drink, but when I do, I easily can get drunk.
Correct.
So I
So it
feel
could be
like
other factors. Who knows?
yes, like
It's a lot.
I feel like it doesn't like I feel like there are how do I say this? Like I feel like every person's body will react differently to
Correct.
alcohol. And I feel like there might be some other things that may affect like how much they can tolerate it. Like it
Mhm.
doesn't have to be like the skinnier you are,
Correct. That's
the
one factor.
easier it would be for you to get drunk. Because I know for sure that like some people they can still be able to tolerate alcohol. Like they can be able to like chug down a bottle of vodka and still be fine. Like I myself, even though like I weigh a little bit more than the other person who can tolerate vodka, I myself cannot tolerate that.
I have a commercial break. Oh shoot, this is out of nowhere. I will
Okay.
be right back.
Mhm.
And all right, sorry, something happened. It wasn't too long, was it? All right.
Yeah. So before anything else, we would
Yes.
just like to recap what we discussed right now. So right now,
Yes.
we're talking about the situation with roofies, but we only discussed about the kind of drugs that were being used, and
Mm-hmm.
also we can or right now like we're in that portion where we have alcohol as well because normally when it comes to like these roofies, like it is pretty common that you're going to see it in like a lot of these alcoholic drinks. But if you're going to be mixing it with like certain drugs, could you be able to go back to that slide for me, please, with the list
Which,
of drugs?
yes, I will. Here you
Okay.
go.
Alrighties. Um,
Is
Okay,
this
so if you see these drugs over here, like these are some of the more common drugs being used to roofie people or to be able to like spike the drinks. But I also did mention that you can also use over the counter drugs, specifically cough medicine and cough syrup, as well as codeine. You can mix it in with drinks, and you're still going to get those same effects as the ones that you see above.
I just want to point out that promethazine with codeine, it requires a prescription in New York State. There are some
Hmm.
states where it's actually promethazine with codeine you can get over the counter without a prescription. But in New York State, because codeine is a controlled substance, it requires a prescription. So just gonna put that out there. All right.
But then, like but regardless, like even if it does require a prescription, like people could still be able to get can have access to those over the
Correct.
counter drugs like Nyquil, Robitussin, Mucinex, and I've only taken like two of them while I'm still recovering from that chest congestion and coughs. But like you could still be able to mix it with those drinks and still going to give them the same effects, like I said. But
That's
anyways, we're
correct.
going to continue moving on with the show.
Correct. Yes,
Take it
that's
away.
right. Thank you so much. Body. So as I said with body mass, as I said, this is just one factor. So usually the skinnier you are, or the short. Actually, it doesn't matter with height in this case. As long as you're
Mhm.
skinny, if you can actually be sensitive to the effects of alcohol. All right. The next thing is drugs and medications. Very, very obvious because it interacts with everything. We talked about metronidazole. That's one classic example.
Mhm.
Other interactions include taking other psych medications. I think one of our friends, actually, yeah, Josh, said that you can't. There, a lot of his friends don't drink alcohol because they interact with the medications that they take.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're gonna take medications, stay off the alcohol, or if you're gonna be drinking, stay off the medications. It's either one or the other, but never
But
ever both. But
that's
if you're not gonna
correct.
take any of them, better.
I have a
But
caveat. I have a
mhm.
caveat. Some medications they stay in your bloodstream for several days. You don't
Yeah.
see that a lot though, but most of the medications they stay in the bloodstream for more with hours rather than or
Hmm.
maybe a day or two compared to several days. But that's just something to watch out for because
Like even within like those 8 hours, once you take those medication, even when you do take those medications, like let's say after 2 or 3 hours, and then the next, and then like it's time for your next dose, like I feel like it's still like within the same effect. Like you just want to like be able to carefully pace out between taking your certain medications and also taking alcohol, but never within very close to each other because again, like it
no.
could potentially take you to the ER or staff, you know?
Please, please do not take alcohol if you're taking medications. So,
Hmm.
next thing, pairing with other drinks. I have a I have a relative who drinks Jack and Coke. All right.
Hmm.
So, if you're taking carbonated drinks such as Coke or Sprite, I actually another short story. I took coconut rum and a Sprite drink.
Hmm.
Woo! Oh my goodness, it was strong, but at that time I ran out of water on my on my water bottle. I couldn't find a water fountain.
Dang.
And yeah, so I got dehydrated. Uh-oh, uh-oh. I didn't get drunk though, thank God. I got tipsy because
Mm-hmm.
I had trouble concentrating and I had to apologize in front of one of the vendors. Like, I'm sorry, I forgot what I was saying. That's what I told him. So if you
Mm.
drink carbonated drinks, so like Sprite, Coke, it can increase absorption of alcohol.
Mm.
That's number
Yeah,
one.
and I feel like again, like going back to cough medicine, and of course mixing it with, like, let's say Sprite. Like, I know for sure that there is lean. There is this thing called lean, and a lot of rappers, they mention that a lot in their songs. Like,
Gotta check
it's
that.
pretty much like a mixture of cough syrup mixed in with soda, like specifically Sprite or ginger ale, and you get like really tipsy. And I feel like you can also die from drinking so much lean as well.
Looks like
So
it
that's one of the
says,
reasons
yeah.
why, like, I feel like that's one of the reasons
Hmm.
why I have to bring that up here,
Yes.
because cough syrup, or it's not just with like codeine. Like, even if you don't have codeine, you can still be able to get over the counter medicines and still give them that same spiking effect towards somebody as well.
Great point. Yeah, so
It's
I just
Mhm,
wanna just for those who's never heard of lean, okay, so according to Healthline, and this is the information that I have in front of me. It's not on the slides though, but I'll explain. The term lean
mhm,
comes from the position it tends to put you in after drinking it. Originating in Houston, Texas,
mhm,
it's typically served in a white styrofoam cup. Like, who cares what cup it is?
mhm,
But anyway, people have been
mhm,
misusing codeine, so they've been mixing that with they it says here I just lost myself. So they mix Robitussin and they would mix it with beer. Sometimes they would substitute the
mhm,
beer with codeine and put other things in there. So it will say
mhm.
soda, candy, and other ingredients. Cough syrup, soda, hard candy, sometimes alcohol, sometimes codeine and promethazine, which evoke
Mhm.
euphoria. Holy moly!
Lord
People come up with
Katniss,
so
long
many.
time no see.
Hi,
Hi.
Katnisis! We got two mods! Yeah, oh, we got three, including you.
Yay.
Yay!
Mhm,
Very imp- So if you missed any of this, this will be posted on YouTube. But
yep.
thank you for the support. I truly appreciate it. But more importantly, thank you for coming simply because everyone needs to know this.
Mhm.
All right?
As much
So
as we can.
exactly. So for those who've missed, just a little recap. We're talking about
Mhm,
roofieing. So roofie is spiking up a drink. That's the main thing
mhm,
to, and
mhm.
in order for the person to get unconscious, and the person's going to take advantage. Oh, I'm doing
Mixing
okay.
weird, mixing weird, mixing like weird stuff,
That's
like
correct.
like drugs. Of course, like there are like a list of drugs. Can you go back to that? Can you go
Yes,
back to that slide,
correct.
please?
All right, Kat,
I'm doing
this is
good.
for
We're
you.
live and kicking. We just got started. I just got started with my Christmas break. That's all. I saw it on Instagram,
I
and
saw this
outrageous
Instagram
people
things
do
out.
this to others. Yeah,
That's
and I feel
exactly
like
right.
this is one of the reasons why we're having this stream right now. But yeah, like
Exactly.
it's not just with those drugs. Like, I mentioned this a lot in the stream today. The one thing that I have in my mind are cough syrups. Like, even if it's prescription or not, like, you could still be able to have access to stuff like Robitussin, Mucinex, or Dayquil, Nyquil, whatever, and you
Mm-hmm.
can also be able to give the same effects towards somebody. Like, you pour in their drink, regardless whether it's alcoholic or it's just like plain soda, and you could still be able to drug these people as well. Still the same side effects. It's still within the same within the same umbrella as like roofing somebody, because again,
Yes,
like the
that's
idea
right,
of
Kat.
roofing somebody is to make them unconscious and take advantage of them for really wicked reasons, and that's been happening a lot in conventions, especially Hallmat, which is more recent.
And Katsucon, and which
And
happened this
we're
year.
have yep, and it could happen like anywhere, like Colossal Con East, and also, well, mostly it's going to be at those hotel convention hotel cons like Katsucon, ColossalCon East, and Hallmat. Well, not next year, of course,
Yep.
but I think you also want to be wary of like when there's like those conventions. But then if you want to go party, it's either going to be at your hotel room or you go to a bar. But then like if you're going to go to like those New York bars for like those parties like Sonic Boombox, Sexy Nerds, plus Ultra Entertainment. Like I think that can still happen. Like it could happen legitimately anywhere,
Exactly right.
right? So it's not just Hallmat, it's not just Colossal East, it's not just Katsucon or MacFest, literally anywhere.
Yeah, some attendees are doing this, Cat. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
They caught one in whole mat, but there's
Mm-hmm.
probably more.
Mm-hmm.
So, in addition to pairing with carbonated drinks, which I did, and I got tipsy, all
Mm-hmm.
right, energy drinks. People drink energy drinks with alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, my goodness. So, I'll explain this. When you drink energy drinks and alcohol, energy drinks mask the effects of alcohol. Right. You'll still have
Mm.
alcohol in the system, but you're not going to feel it simply because you're getting this boost from the energy drinks. And it's not limited to caffeine. It's also Rockstar, your Red Bulls, etc., etc.
Oh yes. But
That's
like
right.
what about like okay, because like I was thinking like Gatorade or Pedialyte.
Those are not energy drinks. Those are
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
those are what we call hydration drinks or oral
Okay.
like oral electrolytes.
Within like the same well even though like so pretty much like if you want to be able to like reduce if you want to be able to like make yourself conscious again or you want to sober up, it's not just water but also like energy drinks or Pedialyte, right?
So, yes, correct. So, water. The issue with Gatorade you have to watch out for is that some Gatorade products will have a lot of sugar. So
Mm-hmm.
just watch out for that. All right. So
uh
that also makes people hyper. And
mm-hmm.
the problem with sugar, if you, especially with the processed simple sugars, if you drink a lot of
Mm-hmm.
that, you get hyper, then you crash and burn. That's why I
Yeah.
try to avoid those. And of course,
Mm-hmm.
if you do too much of it, you get diabetes.
Yeah.
Right, Kat? Okay, so also, how it is prepared. That got me. How people prepare alcohol can actually change the effect. So,
Mm-hmm.
for example, we go back to when I was in Katsucon 2022. When I'm very sensitive to taste. I'm autistic. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
I tasted the drink. There was no alcohol. It tasted all chocolatey. So it's how it's
Mm-hmm.
prepared. But I still got drunk. So, but there was another one where I talked about the Sprite, the coconut rum and Sprite. It was very bitter, and I tasted the gasoline, but I was dehydrated, so I kept drinking. So I got the effects too, but nothing compared to with that chocolate milkshake drink that got me drunk.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the next bullet point, the amount ingested. All right. So if you're drinking a lot, that will obviously affect the that'll
Mm-hmm.
also affect the change. It will also change the effect of alcohol. It will actually make the effect of alcohol even more or even prolonged. And if you're drinking less, but there's a high concentration, same thing. So if you want to keep your alcohol low and still have a good time, try lowering the volume. And if you don't want to lower the volume, lower the concentration as much as possible. There's a
Mm-hmm.
chocolate drink that tastes so sweet you can't feel the alcohol. That's in Katsukan. That's what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know Make It Fun was to add alcohol in there. I thought it was just surprise me, but I should have
Yeah.
known.
They got you right there, boy.
It was my
Yeah.
neighbor said, "Dean, it's one night. You're a pharmacist. He $35 for a drink is expensive." And then, but
Exactly. Like this
my
is why
neighbor
like I
doesn't
don't
believe
drink.
me.
This is why I don't try to drink a lot because again, it's the price, Like I'd rather spend it on food, but it's just that the
Yes,
thing about conventions, food and drinks are always going to be hella expensive.
and those anime keychains and stickers.
Exactly.
Okay. Also, the next thing, ingestion speed. So how fast are you drinking the alcohol? So I have a cup here.
Mm.
Okay, so this is a lot of alcohol, but there's not really alcohol in there. I promise. Okay, it's the ingestion speed could be like,
Like you could chug it down. Yes,
or
you could chug it down,
you
or
put
you just like
a
take one
straw.
sip at a time. Like how you ingest it. Like take one sip. Cheers.
Yeah.
Or you could just like chug it down, and then
Oh
people are
yeah,
gonna
like
say
this.
chug,
So you
chug,
go like
chug.
this. Oh wait, let me just.
Like you don't need to like
You
reenact
go
this,
like
but then
this.
like
Yeah.
the idea is like right over there.
You go
Like
like.
how you drink your alcohol can be able to affect how you're
Or you
feeling.
go.
Yeah,
We gotta
spin it on
look.
the
We gotta
other
have a little
side.
bit of
Yeah,
laughter here, even though it's so serious.
but also like food's very important. But like ironically speaking, why does it that food have to be like so expensive? Like let's say you buy a meal for like $10 to like $15. That's already like really expensive already. But then when you go to the convention, it's gonna cost you like let's say $20, and then pretty much like the size isn't even gonna be valuable. You know,
It's the pandemic
it's so
inflation. They want the
polarizing.
money. People want their raises, and then
Mm,
when in order to pay for the raises, they have to raise the prices. And also spend it on Artist Alley. Spend it on Sugar Pop Crochet. She's an artist, amazing crocheter. Is that a word? Crocheter? But she knits
crochet,
very
yes.
well. Yes, okay.
Hmm.
So please support her. Okay, she's on Instagram as
Hey.
well. I think it's Sugar
Hmm.
Pop Plushies, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
Talking a lot, so ingestion speed. So how fast you drink the alcohol, and as you
Yeah,
pointed earlier, empty versus full stomach. Always have a big meal. Always
yeah.
have a big meal
Like
because it
that's
goes
kind of like what
slowly.
I'm trying to achieve. Like if I plan to drink, I want to have a full stomach because if I drink on an empty stomach, I'm going to feel like total shit. You know.
It's not foolproof. I'm just letting you know. Sugar pop. Oh, I got it right. Sugar pop plushies. Yes. Thank you for the
Sugar
shout out.
pop plushies.
Yes, thank you for the shout out. So,
Mm-hmm.
when it that people will think, oh, if I have a full stomach, then I am immune to alcohol. No, you're not. That has nothing to do
Mm-mm.
with the immune system. All right, it's a buffer, but it's not. It's not a strong. None of the buffers are strong. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it can help you for a little bit, but if you go chugging alcohol, that full stomach isn't gonna matter anymore. Sometimes,
Yeah.
not sometimes, all the time. If you have a full stomach and then you just chug alcohol like no tomorrow, you're gonna get the effects. If you
Mm-hmm.
haven't felt it yet, it's delayed. I'm sorry. Don't do that to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I hear a sound.
Oh, don't worry about that. Just keep it rolling, okay?
Okay, let's keep it rolling. Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Okay, this is very important. Very, very important. How to avoid getting roofied. First thing is be
Yes.
aware of your surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
Please be aware of the surroundings. So if something happens, you can you know where's what, and also have your phone with you. Okay, fully charged. Also bring your wires like this. Okay, bring your charger like this. Then bring your battery pack. All right, yes, surround yourself with trusting friends. That's actually in there too. All right, so never drink
Mm-hmm.
alone, right, Nikki? Never drink alone.
Yeah.
Okay. So please be aware of surroundings. So at least get your camera. We can take pictures like willy nilly. So like
Mm-hmm.
me and Matt. All right, can we take a selfie? All right, let's do it. Okay, so make sure bartender makes your drink right in front of you. Bartender will always make a drink in front of me because I will tell the bartender to do it
Feel
and
your balls
directly
slightly.
gives it to you like this. Not to this person or that person. This. All right. And
Okay, cause like okay, so all right, like I'm just like looking at these slides over here, and I feel like everything is of course everything is like fully explainable. Like of course like being aware of your surroundings, like pretty much let's say you're going to be like in a room party, right? or if you're going to be like at a bar. So pretty much like you need to be able to like know the lay of the land. Like you need to know like who you're going to be dealing with, because I know for sure that there will be room parties where like they're gonna go for like all these pretty cosplayers, and I feel like
Oh boy.
it's gonna I feel like that's going to be like their specific targets. Like of course like with the list that was mentioned earlier, like let's say Chainsaw Man cosplays, there's also Genshin.
I'll get to the
It could actually
list.
legit happen to anyone.
Here's the
Like
list.
pretty much
Be
it may
anybody.
they may target like specific people. Like if they're pretty enough, then I feel like that's when they want to like put that in there, you know, because I feel like for sure I know for sure that you need to be, again, like you just really need to be aware of what kind of people you're going to be dealing with whenever you go to these parties, whether it's the one in New York City or if you're going to go to those room parties. Like of course you don't want to go alone. You always want to be with people that you could trust, right?
Correct.
But I feel like again, like you need to know what kind of people you're going to be dealing with, because they can legit like try to rizz you up, and then at the same time like there's something weird in your drink, right? And you'll never notice. So I feel
Hmm.
like you always want to make sure that not only just like cover it, but then you need to keep a close look at your drinks. But
It's
of course,
there.
like having those covers on
Yes.
top of your drinks is very important as well. And I feel like moving forward,
Like
even when I go
this.
to no, it's not just that.
Yeah,
But then
I
like
know.
usually like they're going to give it to you like in those glasses. Like you kind of have to have like those covers so that like when you go to a bar, you could just like easily seal it up
It's not
when
enough
you're
though,
not
by the
drinking.
way. I'm letting you know.
Really?
It's a start, but I still gonna watch it because what if someone comes in and go,
I mean, like the thing is like of course like for cover like putting covers on top of your drinks is going to delay it. Like pretty much
yes,
you can easily like catch that person off guard if they're like
correct.
trying to like open up that cover and put some weird shit in there.
No,
So
I
that's
just
why like
wanna, you know,
yes.
I
But
want
then
more
still
layers
like
of security.
you can easily you catch that person off guard saying like, "What the fuck are you doing with my drink?"
That's
Then
right.
that's pretty much like when you know that you pretty much caught that perpetrator.
You know what I was
I
gonna
feel like
say? Why
it's
that
one
is
of the
my
reasons
drink?
why having covers might be a must moving forward. And some of my friends they're talking about it, and I feel like I may need to have my own cover if I plan to drink moving forward.
So Kat said, "Have you been to this con before? Was this a problem in the past?" So I've never
No,
been to Holiday Matsuri before, but we have
never.
friends. Nikki and I have friends who've been
Mhm.
to Holiday Matsuri. At least one of my friends went there this year,
However,
and
it's
yes,
been a lingering problem for a long time, and it's not. And then the news about it just like popped up, starting with Katsukon 2023.
correct.
So it doesn't happen just at those events like Katsukon or Hallmat, but it could legitimately happen in like most of these big cons, like let's say ALA, Anime NYC, near Comic Con, because you're gonna
Ala
be in
now,
those
I heard.
bars. Hmm.
Anime Weekend Atlanta, I heard, but I'm not,
Hmm.
you know, I
Also Colossal Con, regardless
yes,
whether
I
it's going to
forgot
be in
about that one.
Prime, East, North, or Texas, any
Virginia's coming up.
convention, any convention that takes place in a hotel, like you have like a hotel and then there's a convention going on over there, where like it's easy for you to like go to these room parties within that same venue. It could legit. I feel like those are the more common places where roofies can legitimately happen.
Yeah, you got to be on alert. Gotta
Hmm.
look. So, pour your own drink.
Hmm.
Never accept drinks from anyone. When in doubt, toss it out. So, many examples. Does it look funny? Does it look weird? If ice goes
And
all the way down, yeah,
and
go
again,
ahead.
like I mentioned earlier, like with certain cough medicines, they can have like different colors. The Mucinex has a blue color.
Yes.
Robitussin, it could have like that maroonish or purple color, depending on like
Correct.
which flavor it is, right?
Right. It depends on the
But
company
then
too,
like
because different companies make different
yes,
formulations. Mhm.
because like I think let's say you have a drink that is of one color, like let's say red, or you have like a cough syrup that is of a different color or slightly darker. Now, if there's like a change that was different from what was served to you, then yes, it's easy for you to distinguish that that drink has been spiked, so therefore throw that shit away.
That's
But
right.
what we mentioned earlier is that what if that substance is clear, like it's transparent?
Hmm.
And I feel like with what we've discussed earlier, there are drugs that are transparent. Like if you they can easily dissolve in what in like liquids. It's not just with water, but
Yes.
literally like
Liquids or
any type of
powders.
liquid,
Hmm.
especially alcohols. Like you'll never know if it's been spiked or not. But then you have to be observant of like how your drink is presented,
Correct.
right?
Correct. That's exactly right. You have to look at everything. You gotta be like Sherlock
Mhm.
Holmes. Fun is it? Does it
Do
look
your
funny?
best.
Yes. Does it look funny?
Like
Does it
even
look
though
weird?
even
Hmm.
even though you could still be able to lose conscious, like because you're getting tipsy or you're feeling a little bit drunk in some way, like you still need to stay observant of like your surroundings. You need to make sure that you need to be surrounded by the friends or people that you know of, but also like try do your best to take a look at your drink. But then knowing the party scene or like the bar scenes, it's always like darkly lit. Like it's not like brightly. It's never going to be brightly lit. It's always going to have those dim
Dimly.
lights, and then
Hmm.
the only lights that you're going to have are the strobe lights, because like you want to be able to like have like those party vibes. And I
Gotta
feel
have
like
that too.
that's pretty much like what we're seeing. That's
All
pretty
right.
much like what I have observed in like most parties. Loud music and dim lights. But
A lot
as
of
much as possible, you want to
distractions.
be able to like have a great time, but you still want to make sure, yeah, like you still want to be able to like stay observant of your drink as much as possible.
Hmm. So particles. So it might be on the ice, might be
Yep.
inside, on the way to the bottom. If you see a lot of bubbles, if it's cloudy,
Mm-hmm.
if you see anything
Mm-hmm.
where there's a little bit of a change, like it's like you see something moving in there. I don't know how it is, but
Like
there's like
different.
a distortion of like when you look through.
Mhm.
Usually, when you look at a drink, it's just clear fluid or whatnot. All right, or with some
Mhm.
color in it. But if you see something where there's a
Yeah.
distortion of refraction, refraction meaning like if when light enters, it bends. So when it bends in a certain way, you'll see that little dizziness kind of thing. When you see heat when
Mhm.
you're in a road,
Mhm.
you'll see like little things, little waves going on. That's similar
Mhm.
to that. So if you see that, toss it out. I don't care. If it's cloudy, color change as you said.
Yeah.
If you smell or taste anything weird, don't. And if someone took your drink for a little bit and you're in doubt, toss it out. Never leave drinks unattended, unsupervised. Cosplay Black Book, I
Yeah.
think,
And
said, even if it's unsupervised for a little bit, toss it out. That's why I have my water bottle and I hide it in my
mhm.
bag. So keep your drink where you can see it, and then, as you said, cover it with
Um
your hand or cover. Yes, go ahead.
Also, like another thing. Okay, so what am I going to say regarding the drinks? Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I just forgot what I was about to
It's
say.
okay.
I might interrupt you when it comes back to me.
Yes.
Yes,
Pat says, I could never
you may
understand why
continue.
people love hurting others. I'm still trying to figure that out on my studies. Aren't we all trying to figure that out? There's always
I
reasons
mean,
here
the
and
thing
there.
about I think the thing about like the cosplay community is that like it pretty much attracts like almost everybody from like different fields or interests. And also like I feel like it's kind of like how the cosplay community is presenting themselves.
Hmm.
And I feel like for the most part like you're attracting like more gorgeous looking cosplayers in a way. So I feel like there might be I think it kind of like has something to do with like the motives. Like you want to get in with
Correct.
getting with like a certain person, or you just want to be able to like take some of their stuff because like, oh, they have like all that good money or that and all that stuff. Like there's like
So
so many factors as to why stuff like this happens. It may
so I
be
want yeah.
it may be the environment, or they may have like access to like these certain drugs,
Mhm.
or for the most part, like, you know, they just want to do it just for the sake of like causing chaos and all. And you know, like I don't know 100% of like why people do it, but then like everybody kind of has like their motives as to
Mhm.
why they want to be able to like spike it up. They want to like spike somebody's drink up.
Yeah. So here it is. So it says never leave drinks unattended, unsupervised. Keep your drink where
Mhm,
you can see it, covered with your hand. This is how I do my drink. I know this is a big
mhm,
water bottle, but just make
mhm,
believe that it's a short one. Bang, bang. That's what
mhm,
I'm gonna do. Bang, bang, and I watch
mhm,
it. Or, but
mhm.
if you don't watch it, you may spill it. Just be careful. All right. And
Yeah.
as yeah, Katniss has said, always be with your friends and never go alone. And
Mhm.
BYOB, bring your own bottle. Kuya, go
Bring your
ahead.
own
Sorry.
bottle. Like I think there are certain rules before you enter bars or before you like enter like any events. Like I don't think you can specifically bring your own bottle unless it's
Damn
empty.
it. I'm gonna hide it.
Yeah. So I feel like there's like I think there's a little bit of conflict of like bring your own bottle in
Damn.
some way, but like not all the time. But
Yeah.
then like when you enter bars, you cannot bring like your own drinks in, and so like they're just gonna provide you
Oh
with
no.
cups of water. They're gonna provide you with like other stuff because I feel like with
Bring a
bars,
sippy cup.
no, I feel like with most bars, like they're not going to allow outside food whatsoever. Like there's going to be certain establishments where like yes,
Hmm.
the only food that you're going to get is the stuff from their store because
I was
like
talking
they're
about
selling
cons.
it. They
Sorry.
have that stuff.
Yeah, but you
So
have a point.
they don't want so think of it this way, like let's say you want to go to a bar, right? But then like you're feeling hungry, but you the only thing that you have is like your McDonald's meal. They're not
Hmm.
going to allow you in because they see that you have like your McDonald's meal, so you must finish that up before you get in. That's the
Correct.
rules. So
Correct.
the bring your own bottle can vary. Like it really depends
Correct.
whether or not they're going to allow you to bring your own bottle or not. Like with this one over here, it's filled with water, by the way. It needs to be empty. Like I cannot have water in it. So they're gonna tell me you empty it out, drink it, or just like toss it out and then just get your ass inside.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So great point. So with cons, generally they allow you to for the most part, but for bars or other restaurants, most
Yeah.
likely not because it's business, it's an establishment.
Hmm.
So uh so in this case, when you bring a big water bottle, have it full of plain water. I'll
Hmm.
explain why in a little
Hmm.
bit on the next slides.
Yeah.
Full of water, close tightly and hide that thing. And seal your
Hmm.
bottles tightly and hide them, but still closely watch them. Very, very, very
I mean,
important.
it's not just that, but then I think people like have like those covers as well. Like you can
Correct.
like have a scrunchie that's like
Hmm.
cover that's like sealing the covers. And I feel
Correct.
like that's one of those covers that they have for when they're tossing you when you're getting drinks from the bar in
Hmm.
glasses. So I feel like
So,
having like those
yes.
covers might work. Like it could
Hmm.
be like let's say of like my pillow covers. The
Hmm.
consistency would be like my pillow covers, and then you just have like a scrunchie like that's like um surrounding the cover so that it would stay in its place.
Hmm. So, what can
You know what I
events
mean?
do? Yeah, correct. I do know what you're talking about. What can events do to take
Hmm.
part? Very important. Oh, Matt,
Hmm.
listen. You gotta listen. You have to ban illicit drugs such as alcohol, recreational drugs, even
Hmm.
marijuana, unfortunately, because especially if you're running a con that is all ages. Tighten security
Hmm.
entrances, have a high
Hmm.
security presence. Full video
Hmm.
surveillance coverage so we can catch those predators, catch those jerks. Tighten enforcement,
Hmm.
bring awareness to the issue and educate the public about this, about the drinking
Hmm.
issue, about the being roofied. Stock up on sealed bottled water. Very important, especially if something happened with the sewers. Who knows? That's for a different issue. All right. So
Hmm.
if the water coolers have been spiked, as we've seen, you would call that. And if you see something, say something. See something, you record it. You
Yeah.
report it. Very important.
It's either report it or do your best that you can to help somebody, because like I mentioned earlier, like let's say something happens to the point where like they're just like seconds from death, like you
Hmm.
want to be able to like help that person as much as you can, like even though like you don't know CPR whatsoever, you always want to call con staff, call security, call 911 as soon as possible.
Correct. I definitely agree.
Do not just stand there and do absolutely nothing.
Correct.
Do not
If
stand
you
there
don't know
and
what
not
to
do
do,
anything.
the best you can do is contact authorities.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you can do.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so they're playing ads on my
All too
thing.
often.
They're playing ads on my thing. I don't understand what's going on. All right.
I don't see any
So
ads on your stream.
no, from my on my end, I'm seeing it. So it's
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah, no, it's no, you're good. It's me because I always have my videos ready. So, but
Okay.
we're not doing the videos yet. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, there we go. So,
There.
symptoms, signs of being roofied. So, disorientation, being sleepy, drowsiness, sedation, unconsciousness, as we've talked about already. Memory impairment, so
Mm-hmm.
you may not remember a few things. You may have loss of memory,
Mm-hmm.
feeling paralyzed, loss of focus or concentration, GI or gastrointestinal issues such as nausea and vomiting, lack of energy, loss of muscle control. In many cases, such as myself, I didn't get roofied, but I drank a lot of alcohol. I didn't even realize it. I had the symptoms, and then I had symptoms the next day. When I woke up, I still had severe drowsiness. Thank goodness I didn't get nausea and vomiting, but it can happen the day after. Muscle aches you can get. I didn't get muscle aches. Headaches I got a little bit, but over time, on the next day after I got drunk, I was doing better. Photosensitivity, meaning light sensitivity. There's confusion, having trouble remembering, and also a tingling
Yes,
sensation.
let's see.
So
Okay,
yes,
so
go
this is
ahead.
coming from my personal experience.
Yes.
Into next that happened like this year.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like drank some alcohol, but then like I stayed up until 3 a.m. But then
Mm-hmm.
like I woke up around like 6 or 7, and
Mm-hmm.
when I went downstairs, that's when I started to feel dizziness, and that's when I vomited. However, I can assure you that it didn't feel like I was roofied, because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like, actually, on second thought, yeah, I just feel some sort of like morning sickness in some way. However, from what I'm seeing, when it comes to like being roofied or just like feeling that morning sickness or you're getting hung over, I still feel like It's like, let's say you just have a cough and cold but no COVID,
Mm-hmm.
or legitimately having COVID and not having like certain
Wow.
symptoms. Don't you think so?
Wow.
Don't you think so?
It probably is because
Yeah.
some of the symptoms can actually overlap, such as that nausea, vomiting, as you said, muscle aches. Some people could get headaches as well,
Mm-hmm.
but I see more of the nausea, vomiting, and muscle aches that are causing
Hmm.
this overlap. So
But
yeah,
then, like,
that is very interesting.
I did vomit. I did vomit downstairs, but it was
Oof,
only like at a trash can. And then
thank
this was
God.
like before I was dressed up as Scaramouche from Genshin Impact on Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much like if I it was if it actually like felt severe, then I would have already been hospitalized,
Oh boy.
or
I'm
I
glad
would
you
have
didn't get
like stayed in like
hospitalized.
the infirmary, or I would have like stayed in like one of the infirmaries in the convention center.
Oh wow. So
Yeah.
So we talk about prevention. Now we talk about if you get into that situation, hopefully we don't have to talk about this, but just in case if you've gotten
Mhm.
roofied, call 911. Get help. If you can't get help, have a friend get help for you and call 911 ASAP.
Mhm.
Seek medical attention ASAP. Get security ASAP and bring attention to the perpetrator or the person with the security and warn them about a potential criminal. And the security have to take this seriously. Unfortunately, the staff at Holmat in the beginning, they did not take this seriously, and it's gotten out of hand where so many people were just getting
Mhm.
spiked or roofied, and that's
Mhm.
unacceptable.
Mhm.
If you're conscious, drink as much water as you can, so your body's able to flush it. All right. If you're a friend, if you know someone who's roofied, you stay with the victim, or you stay with the friend to help them out and make sure they're safe, and have ample
Mhm.
surrounding space that is less chaotic, so the
Mhm.
victim doesn't get stepped on and whatnot. Have some enough space just as a breathing room.
Mhm.
If the person is
Mhm.
showing signs of overdose, such as the symptoms for seizure or vomiting, do not lay them on their backs. Some of them, they will lay on their
Mhm.
backs. Okay, lay them to the side of their stomach so they don't choke. Gravity. So you'll be laying your back. So make sure
Oh.
nothing's. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish
So
up.
if they do get thirsty, drink water in small sips. All right, and I'm gonna show
Mhm.
you a video on how to actually have not seen this video. But it's for a recovery
Okay, and
position.
before we get to the video,
Yes.
now I know for sure that like lying them like on their sides is one thing,
Yes.
but what about like having them sit on a chair with a backrest, not on a bench because if they sit down on a bench, they could potentially like fall down and they could like
Yeah.
hit their heads. So like how about putting them on a chair with a proper backrest?
We have to make sure
Do you
also
think
they're
that?
they're protected on the left and the right too.
Mhm.
All right. Just make sure
Left and right?
they're not slouching. They're just like this.
Hmm.
But
So
usually,
not
like,
slouching.
yeah, not no, please, no. Like, everything supported on three sides,
Hmm.
okay? Not just the back.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
it's more for it's better to be on the floor, so there's more freedom of movement, so to speak.
Uh
But
huh.
that's a very good point.
Got
Like,
you.
on my next CPR,
Mhm.
since we have to have people lie on their sides or on their stomach, I'll actually ask that
Mhm.
question. That's why we're saving this video, so I'll just watch a
Or
video
let's
before
say like
this.
they're in a, or let's say like they're on a stretcher, right? But I feel like
Yes.
usually with stretchers like they cannot just like lie down on their back flats. But then I think there are certain stretchers wherein like they're going to be like carried away on like an elevated surface, like they're gonna have like that
Yes.
incline or decline. Hmm.
Correct. All
So
right.
I feel like that's something that can also potentially help, but I'm not 100% certain. I'm
Yep.
just
It
very
depends on
curious.
it depends on the situation. All right.
Mhm.
It looks like it's cut off, but actually, I don't think it's cut off. We'll see. All right. Let's watch the
Mhm.
video.
Okey-dokes.
So this is how to do a recovery position. All right. This is fine. The, it's not cut off. I'm sorry. Let's.
Now we're going to cover the unconscious breathing victim in the workplace and how to implement the recovery position safely. Now in this scenario, we needed to make sure that our scene was safe, our gloves were on, and our rescue mask was available with a one-way valve, and then do a little bit of detective work. We know he's laying here on the ground, so could he have just passed out? Sure. Could he have low blood sugar? Yeah, for sure. Could he have had a seizure? Yes. But there's obviously a tool on the actual workbench that has an open wire. So is there a chance that he was electrified? Absolutely. And that makes more sense than anything else. So we might even want to look for fractures, burns, entry and exit areas where the electricity went in and came back out. But the one thing that we knew right away is when we assessed this person, they were unresponsive, but they were breathing normally. They had good skin color. So this was not an immediate CPR situation. However, because they're unresponsive, they did not respond to my taps and shouts, I'm still going to activate EMS. You in the plaid shirt, go call 911 and come back. I might need your help. Bring an AED with you if you find one. And then before I even touch the person, what did I really need to look out for? Scene safety that still might be risk to me. He was electrocuted. Is the cable still touching him? Is the wire still touching him? Is he still electrified? So we made sure that anything that carried energy was de-energized before I ever even tapped the patient themselves. Now, once I've assessed them for breathing and they are breathing normally, I need to help protect that airway that's being used to bring the air into their lungs in case they vomit, in case they have blood in their mouth. I don't want that to go into their lungs. I want it to come out of their mouth while we're waiting for EMS to arrive. So how do we do that? The recovery position is done like this. As long as there are no fractures to these bones that I'm going to be moving, I can move them. As long as I don't suspect a serious neck or back injury, I can move them. So I don't suspect any of that stuff, and I'm not seeing any deformity, so I'm going to go ahead and log roll them. Now, I bring the arm that's closest to me up, as I just did. I bring the leg that's furthest away over and cross his ankles, and then I go underneath his head and neck as I bring his wrist with his hip, and I draw him towards me. I now bring the leg that's closest to me up like a kickstand, relieve the pressure of his head from my hand as I escape that out. I bring his arm underneath, and then I kind of lean him towards the ground. I do this so that he won't roll all the way over, but I do it so that there's gravity working with us, not against him. I want fluids that come into his mouth or up from his stomach to come out of his mouth and onto the ground, not choking him, not obstructing the airway. The recovery position is a great way to have this type of person lay while we're waiting for EMS to respond. But at the first point that we think this person stops breathing or loses their pulse, we're going to roll them right back onto their back and we're going to start CPR. If we think they might be going into shock, we cover them with a sheet coat or blanket, and then we spend the rest of our time reassessing them continuously for responsiveness, airway, breathing, and circulation.
All right, that's pro training, so shout out for that. Wow. I haven't seen that video, but that was now you know why it's not it's not sometimes sitting is not the best because it could cause if the person throws up, there could be some aspiration and the person could get a pneumonia. So, and that's only for unconscious. Now, if the person is conscious and wants to sit, that's another story. So it's really a case by case basis, but for the most part, you have to let the person lay down, all right, and don't let and use gravity as a way to help them rather than to hurt them. So, what do you think? Oh, I couldn't hear you. The audio. Okay, now I can hear you.
Oh, okay. 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 I was just like fixing my microphone because now I know that there's some like roaring noise because forgive me, I do apologize for those who are watching. I actually like am using the laptop audio, and I feel like my laptop is currently showing its age, so it's making that roaring noise and it scares me. But anyways, just by looking at that video, so I feel like having them just lie on the ground would be much better than having them just simply sit down, right?
If they're unconscious, because they don't have any
Yeah.
control. So
Mm-hmm.
basically this is the just what the video explained. All right. So I'm not gonna go too crazy into it. That's for the reference, but I recommend watching the video over and over. Oh, oops, sorry about that. So So
So
just
this is like
yeah,
this is pretty much like the preferred method. Okay.
yes, correct. So body
Because
position.
I
So
think because
yeah,
I know for sure that like yes.
what I was about to
Because I
say
know for
for.
sure that like sometimes
Mhm.
sorry.
Oh, we got
You may
delayed.
continue.
Go. You can go ahead. You can go ahead. I got a delay in the audio.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
Go ahead.
So yeah, as I was about to say, so I know for sure that for some people, they're still going to have them sit down, with a backrest, right?
Hmm.
And I feel like this is coming from somebody that doesn't know, that hasn't seen videos like this,
Hmm.
so they're just going to they're just going to like try their best, like not to have them on their backs, but they're just gonna like have them sit down because I know
Hmm.
for sure that if they're vomiting, then I feel like they're gonna like sit down and then just have all that vomit just like go
Yeah.
down, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a. I mean, with the sitting down, but they have to sit up straight though. That's the. But that's the
Mm-hmm.
thing. But it's only for conscious. It's in this case
Uh-huh.
because unconscious, then we got an issue. All right. So I know it's
Ah.
very small. So I'll just go over it very quickly. So just to reiterate, lay the
Mm-hmm.
person down on their back with their legs stretched out like this. So we don't want them on their backs, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times they're gonna be on their backs. So kneel down beside them, okay? And place the arm nearest you on the floor next to the head with a bent position with their palms up, as you can see. Just like when the person is doing, the referees from football, right? And then take that
Mm-hmm.
person's hand that's furthest away from you and pull them across their chest and guide the back of
Mm-hmm.
their hand to their face so that it rests against the cheek closest to you and hold it in place with your two
Mm-hmm.
hands. So
Mm-hmm.
use your other hand to take hold of the thigh that's furthest away from you, for instance, touching their trousers and not at their knee joint. So we're using that as like a leg stand. And pull the leg up so the
Mm-hmm.
knee's bent and the foot is on the ground. And gently roll their entire
Mm-hmm.
body towards you. The leg you pulled up
Mm-hmm.
should now rest on the ground in front of them with the thigh at the right angle to
Mm-hmm.
their body. That's on the fourth, on the far right side. You'll see there. And
Yeah.
gently tilt their head. This is on the floor, by the way. They're not doing like a one stand, oh, I forgot what it was called. Damn, and I do this all the time. The exercise. What was it? I do this all the time. Oh, I forgot. Anyway, so the leg you pulled up should now rest on the ground in front of them with the thigh at the right angle to their body. Only tilt their head back a little and open their mouth slightly to make it easier for them to breathe. Keep their hand placed
Mm-hmm.
next to their head, between their chin and the ground, to stabilize the position of their head. And we don't want any damage to the head. We want to make sure the
Mm-hmm.
person's comfortable. Because what if they wake up and then all of a sudden they got a neck injury? We want to make sure everything is support,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the sensitive areas. So
Mm-hmm.
very again, this is my first time watching the video. Usually when I prepare the slides, I will watch all the videos, but this one, uh,
Mm-hmm.
I would watch this over and over and over again because we can't stress the
Yeah.
importance of that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
yeah, this is our last
So this
slide.
would be the best. Mm-hmm.
The last
Norpin spray,
slide.
EpiPens,
Yes. So the reason I put
first
that
aid,
was
insulins,
yeah. So
food
it's
and
not limited.
hydration. Yes.
Correct. It's not limited to these to this list that's over here. It's the most important thing to attend a con, and we all should know this, is to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So a Narcan
Yes.
spray. So in case if you overdose on an opioid, notably
Mm-hmm.
oxycodone. That's the common opioid that people use, at least in my practice, in
Mm-hmm.
my previous job. So
Mm-hmm.
EpiPen. So we have a friend who's allergic to sesame. He has to have an EpiPen with him
Uh-huh.
and make sure it's fresh because EpiPens have an
Uh-huh.
expiration date. Check your
Mm-hmm.
expiration dates for medications always. Take CPR
Mm-hmm.
courses. I have to take a CPR course every other year. All right. I strongly suggest people, just regular people, anybody, take a CPR course because you never know when you're going to need it. And you could save lives.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the
Yes.
CPR is not 100% effective, or even though there's a small percentage, if you don't do CPR at all, there's a 0 chance of survival. Don't forget that.
Yes.
All right.
Mhm.
First aid kits. You don't have
That's,
to go
I
too
mean,
crazy.
it's not just
Yeah.
for. Also, like, I want to be able to stress this out that, like, it's not just in case somebody passes out. Like I mentioned, there's colossal con, and they're all
Mhm.
in. Okay, colossal con or any convention with, of course, like high exposure to swimming pools, because chances are somebody may drown. Like, it's either going to be the cosplayer or the photographer or just a regular attendee. Like, if they suddenly drown, then I feel like CPR is the most important. And
Correct.
as much as possible, like, you need to be able to, like, get that person out of the water and to make sure that they get all that water out, so that there's going to be a chance for them to survive. So yes, definitely
Call
CPR is
EMS right
extremely
away.
important.
Very good. Very good
Yes,
point. It's not just the reason why I made this slide is
because
because it's not limited to being roofied. There's also other stuff to worry about.
mhm.
So first aid
Because,
kit.
like,
So
as a
to get
swim
a minute.
instructor, like, it is important.
Mhm.
It is important that we teach, not just with the kids, but also with anybody, the importance of water safety, how to be able to use your arms to swim to the wall and to climb out on your own. So usually, okay, so for the kids, we call this row rows, but then, like, in reality, this is what we
Rows.
call the safety crawl or the front crawl. Yes.
So my
And
legs
also,
are
like,
like
to
this,
climb
right?
out, it's going to be elbow.
Oh,
Yes, so,
okay.
like, being able to, like, flutter your legs as much as possible, because, like,
This
that's
is the
gonna help you
legs, and
move.
then this is okay.
Yes,
I'm learning something.
yeah,
Okay.
that's your arms. Like, it's
All right.
either this, or you could do something like a breaststroke
Oh, like
as
Michael
well.
Phelps.
Butterfly, it's very
Oh, sorry.
tricky
Oh,
actually,
okay.
but then, like, the most common, like the most important skills to have is the ability to move your arms to push yourself forward, like with the breaststroke or with the front crawl, so that when you be
Okay.
when once you actually, like, find safety, like, you can be able to, like, if you're able to, like, find, like, a wall that you can climb out of, it's going to be elbow, elbow, tummy, push yourself up, and a knee, right?
Mhm.
So
Wow.
that's pretty much, like, some of the things that I do teach as a swim instructor. But yeah, CPR extremely important in case anything happens, especially with drowning. You know what to do.
I love it. I love it. We're giving more
Hmm.
helpful tips. I love it.
Yep.
And then maintenance
Hmm.
medication. So if you have blood pressure medication, if you're taking diabetes medications, and then all that stuff.
Do I
So
like the
don't
love
forget
job?
those.
Do I like the new job more? Yep. Yep.
Yeah, me
I
too.
do. Even though, like,
Mhm.
there's hardly, like, less hours, but then, like, it's still great because, like, I do have something else on the side, and that I'll just, like, be a little bit more personal about later on.
Mhm. And then insulin, of
But
course.
anyways, you may continue.
Yes, correct. Insulin also. So if you're diabetic and you forgot your insulin, you're screwed. You're basically one step away from getting to the emergency room. So don't forget your insulin.
Hmm.
Food as well.
Yes.
So diabetics as well. So if
Hmm.
in case for diabetics, if their sugar is low, hypoglycemia, bring food. Some people bring candy, but when it comes to hard candy, they have to chew it, unfortunately. But also
Hmm.
people use orange juice as well to help them with treating their low blood sugar as well because it's faster as opposed
Yeah.
to hard candy. You have to chew your hard candy, but it's still slower. You can't just suck on it
Uh
because
huh.
because of the effects of hypoglycemia. The effects of hypoglycemia is also as bad as hyperglycemia, high blood sugar. All
I
right,
think
and
another thing too
mhm,
is it could be a choking hazard as well. Like, you accidentally swallow it, and then it gets stuck, and that's gonna potentially lead you to being choked to death.
you have the Heimlich remover or
Right?
Heimlich maneuver, not remover. Heimlich maneuver, not remover. Fucking up. My brain.
Heinrich.
Look alike, sound alike with the words. Okay. And then there's
Mhm.
hydration, which everyone should know. All right.
Of course, of
Don't be
course.
like me when I ran out of water and I couldn't find a water fountain and A friend of mine gave me a
As much as
coconut almond
possible,
Sprite,
hydration. Yes.
and then I
As
and
much as
then I started
possible,
getting tipsy.
hydration is key.
And it's not just eight
Yeah.
glasses of water. Okay, if eight glasses is not enough, you have to continue drinking. And then we talked about
Of course.
also with drinking lots of water after feeling the effects of being roofied to help wash it off as
Hmm.
fast as you can.
But
So
also, regarding the current situation, now there are incidents where, yes, there are roofies in the water. They are spiking up the water supply, and I don't know why, and I don't know what their motives are. But then this is still an ongoing story. So as the days go by, we might find more information of these motives. But
mhm,
the thing is, of course, water is staying hydrated is most important, but you want to make sure that the water is safe to drink
that's
because,
correct.
of course, there are people that suddenly like went to the ER in like let's say day 2 or day 3, because like they drank from like the spiked water.
Also,
So like you
some
always want to
water
make
can, yeah.
sure that this what yeah
I was about to say
you want to make
Legionella
sure that the
disease.
water is safe.
Yeah,
Hmm.
make sure the water is safe. It doesn't have. I'm not. Doesn't. It's not. It doesn't have Legionella in it because some people's apartments, especially with those water towers on top of the apartments, if you don't clean them, you'll get Legionnaire's disease. Oh my goodness. So, oh
Yikes.
yes, yeah. But that's a little off topic. Kat said
Hmm.
one of the some of the reasons could be that it's a combination of trauma, personality
Hmm.
traits, and curiosity. That could be the reasons why
Yep.
that it's that could be
Stick
the
to
reasons
tap
why
watering.
people are
Yeah.
roofing.
Very rarely it is unsafe. Yes.
Stick to
That
the tap
can
water.
that is
Very
true.
rarely it is unsafe.
Hmm.
Well, in New York, I know in New York State, yes. In the
Hmm.
Philippines, question mark. Where
Yeah,
we're
it really
from.
depends on like the location because I feel like tap waters, some water supplies they're safe to drink, and then there are others where like you it's gonna like give you bad stomach aches.
And the next thing is you have to pay attention to any water alerts, for example, because there
Hmm.
or like boil water alerts. Flint, Michigan. Remember that those years ago? Forgot which year it
Hmm.
was. So their water got tainted and it was brown.
Hmm.
And they what they did was I think they used the wrong river or something. And so
Oh,
yeah. So to number one Hendrick fan, Hendrick fan, yes, lead pipes too.
lead pipes,
That
yes.
so yeah, the reason why they used lead pipes back then was because it was an affordable metal and it was malleable. But now we know it causes neurological damage,
Hmm.
unfortunately. So, there are other factors there, but I do agree. At least here in New York City, uh, the the tap water is pretty safe. Just make sure that you maintain your pipes properly and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
there's no water main breaks where it could affect the water pressure and it could make the water brown. I've gone through that. I've seen that, but that was so long ago. We take water for granted. I looks
Hmm.
like so. Wow. It says you're 2 hours and 22 minutes and counting. Wow,
Yeah.
time flies. I gotta tell you.
It sure does. It sure does.
So I want to see who we're gonna raid.
And again, I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in to this very special
Thank you.
presentation. Consider this
Yes.
as like a holiday special, Hallmark special, post Hallmark special,
Yes.
whatever it is. And once again, I just want to say thank you so much to Paul Goldine for having me as your guest host. And of
Yes.
course, for more and of course like you can also follow me on my social handle which is going to be Delarana over here on Instagram, X or Twitter, TikTok, and even this platform called Twitch as well. Follow me on my socials as well as being able to follow Wal Goldine on his handles
Yes.
over there as well.
That's right. I think we all have both of us have the same. Oh, you see all those
Mhm.
circles? I think we all have those.
Yes.
YouTube, Instagram,
Mhm.
Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, Facebook, and Discord. So you can follow me there. And
Mhm.
thank you very much, Cathesis. Thank you, mods. All right.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you,
Thank you for the
everybody. Hope
shout
you're
out.
having a
Does this
wonderful
work?
day.
Hold on a second. Shout out. Let's see if this works. I thought it did. Shout out to. Let's see if the try
Thank you so much, Lord
Kinesis.
Cadnesis. Appreciate
Shout
you.
out. Okay. I thought it was working. I remember it worked. I
Yay.
used to got it to work. Damn. But
Mhm.
oh well. But who are we raiding? I don't know who are. Do you have anyone you want to raid? Because
Not that I know of. Not that I know of,
I don't know if my raid
unfortunately.
thing works either. So
Mhm.
Okay. There is raid whiskey. Uh, QEY. Let's see. I don't know if it
We drink your
works.
whiskey.
Does it work? Uh, oh, it doesn't work. Oh well.
I I
Okay,
think it's like
so
I think it's like slash raid
slash R
and then
raid.
yes, slash raid, yes.
Oh wait.
Shinino Kage. Yeah, let's try raiding Shinino Kage.
Oh, I actually follow. Shini. No. Okay.
Shinino Kage. Yep. Let's go. Let's go.
It doesn't work.
We getting those raid in. We getting those
Oh,
raid
I
ins.
I spelled it. I think I spelled it. Yeah, I spelled it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So it was R and then slash and then this is SHININO
Yep.
K. It's underscore. Sorry.
God, I miss
Oh
this platform so much.
yes, I know. Me too. I used to do this all the time. Raid and then Shini.
But yeah, try like slash raid.
Oh, okay. It's raiding. Okay,
There we
very
go.
good.
There we go. Yes,
Okay,
slash raid
this
is so much better.
and in the words of Dollar Runner, what's your quote?
Stay healthy and safe.
Say it.
Yes,
Say the
stay healthy
quote.
and safe. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Bye
In the words
bye.
of Dollar Runner over here, this way. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, please stay safe. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy whatever holiday it is. Always
Happy
stay healthy and safe.
holidays.
Y en
Happy New
las
Year.
palabras de Doctora
Mm-hmm.
María Polo, he dicho. Transmisión cerrado. Ok, enviamos a Shinino Kage. Bye. Feliz Navidad. All right. See you.
Bye bye.
Yes, let's do it. Stop.